informative and contains my opinion and understanding of the subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi guys, I'm back. Okay, so people are probably not even knowing that I'm going live a second time. I was about to read these messages on Dom's birthday, and then I felt like I was cheating. So I decided I'm just going to go live for a second time. I have no idea if anybody's going to notice or come, and I'm okay with that. I know what happens. Sarah's here. Sarah, there she is, Miss America. Wait, how do you do it like this when you're Miss America? Hi. So let's waste no time. I want to see what happens on Dom's birthday. So I was like, what better way to do that than to just go live again and read it with y'all. Okay, I'm going to shut off my iPad so that I don't use my Wi-Fi. I learned that if I shut my Wi-Fi off, it makes the stream stronger. Okay, so hold on. I'm just going to turn off my camera for a second, but I'm not like all the way off. I can put it back on. I just want to go over to here. I have the messages up already. I just have to share them. Okay. I can't believe I'm doing this a second time. I've never gone live twice in a day, at least not that I know of. All right, here we go. This is where we left off last time. Let me see if I can make that any bigger. Actually, should I just do that so you guys could see it? Who needs to really hear me talk? Let me see. I could do this little one too where I'm down in the corner. Hi, guys. All right, I'll do that. I'll put me down in the corner just in case anybody really wanted to see me that bad. I am going to turn it off for a second, though, and then I could always go back. So hopefully you guys could hear me. Sarah, hopefully you'll let me know if you can hear me. I can't read it. Oh, that's okay then. Let me see. Let me see if I can make it bigger, Sarah. Let's see. And then I'll move it over. Sarah, I forgot you were old. I'm going to accommodate. I'm just kidding. All right. Excuse me. I don't know if you could see it. I don't know. This is the thing. So nobody puts baby in the corner except for baby. I love that. So put your clothes back on. 38. Oh, yeah, Sarah's 38. I forgot. Okay, so I have a Look at Squirrel and Sarah with me. I don't know if truth is coming. Again, I never told anybody that I was going live again. I'm just going to tell her I'm live because I would feel bad if I didn't text you, even though I didn't earlier. So I do apologize, but it's only because we're on a second stream. So let me just start reading and I'll shut up. Let's do this. Oh my gosh, you guys, let's see what happens. I'm like dying. We have, you guys, there is so much information. I can't even tell you. So in between when we were talking, I looked and I have everything. I have all of her social media. I have her text with Dom's mom. I have her text with her dad. If anybody has anything specific that you would like me to do next, please let me know because I literally have access to everything, all of her social media, all of her text messages. So if there's anything, I have all the dash cam videos, all the LE videos. I have it all. So if anybody wants anything specific for me to do next, please let me know. Today, I wanted to make sure I went through Dom's birthday text. So whether anybody joins us or not, that's okay. Hopefully new people come in, people that are into this case that maybe weren't into BK or maybe were into BK but didn't find me that way. So let's see. All right, here we go. Let's start. All right, so here we go. So I have laugh out loud, and you still leave me on red. All right, so let's see. It is, oh no, don't freeze up on me. Oh no, we're still here. You still leave me on red. Where, all right, you know what, you guys, of course it's going to be a pain in the butt. I'm going to stop sharing for a second so I could pull it up again. Hopefully I wrote down where we were. All right, here they go. They're right here, the text messages. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, you guys. Just when you think you have it all done. Oh, I have the lab test. I have the phone calls. I have an entire 21 gigabytes just of her. I have a 3 gigabyte inspection. Like, thank God I deleted half of my shit on my computer because I would have had no room for all this. There is so much. There's Dom stuff. Davion Flanagan has an entire thing. There's an entire zip folder there's 22 gigs of photos. There's a ton of, there's surveillance videos. There's so many things I can't even tell you. So let me just get right to, I don't know what B and E zip is. I'll have to look into it later. There's so much here. There's no way I could look into it all. Dominic has his own folder as well. So Dom has like, how much does Dom have here? Dom doesn't have a whole gig. He has like a half a gig. She literally has 21 gigs of information. So there's a ton for her. I'm just re-downloading this. It only takes a second. It says that I have 8 seconds left, but I'm just doing that. So hopefully we can get everything up so that it doesn't stop me. I'm at Dom's birthday, which I know is, all right. So let me see. All right, please, dear St. Anthony, please let me do this. All right, let's see. So I'm going to share screen. Let's try this again. All right, let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. So we have to go to Dom's birthday, which I believe is September. Does anybody remember? It's like the 20-something, and we were on 2020. It was his 18th birthday. So let me see. I have the worst headache. When's this? This is 12. So I went too far. What's this? 7 of 2020 is far enough. 8. All right, 10, which means that we're close. All right, where are we at? I'm hanging with Kyle. I just have to go back a tiny bit. I want to make this bigger, but I'm so afraid. All right, let's just see. I'm making it bigger. Oh, hopefully that was good. All right, so we're at 9:19. I have to remember where his birthday is. Oh, wait, we read this because they said I have too many clothes too. Me and you need like massive closets. Yeah, low key. We did read this. So some reason my mouth tastes like weed. Did we read this part? What are you wearing today? I feel like we did. I don't know what to wear. Wear sweatpants and a sweat jacket. Yes, we did read this. All right, let's go down a little bit further. Oh, hi, bad actors. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. You have no idea. I feel like Thor's like trying to bark, but I'm going to knock him out of the video. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so we did read this. I want to get to Dom's birthday. So I know we're close. I know we're close because I remember this picture that he sent. Sorry if I'm making you seasick. All right. Let's see. 9/19. I don't know exactly when Dom's birthday is. And I'm just like, and it's a shame because they write so much. Wait, let me keep going. Look how much this is. This is all one day. You've been actually, I don't want to miss his birthday. Does anybody remember? I'm going to go back over. Does anybody remember, Sarah or Truth, what, where we were? Yes, the word, my little babes. Let me know if you remember. If not, I'm going to keep looking. I should look before we came. Well, I did look at it up, and then it just froze. So let's see. I'm not trying to argue, dislike, or whatever. I'm just going to read whatever. Stop talking to me like that. He says, well, you blocked me on the other one. Oh, remember this one? Don't be putting that out. So remember, he gets pissed off because she says, I'm going to scroll down a little because I remember this. He is the one that brings up the second telephone that he has, and he then blames her because she says something like about that she forgot about the other phone, and he's literally like mad at her for saying that, and which I thought was just crazy. He said, you're going to make me mad again. She says, I've been mad all day because of you. Like, stop acting immature. What the F? What the F did I do to you? Oh, wait, we have, this is Sarah said 10-4-3-7. Sarah, you're amazing. 10-4-3-7. Oh my gosh, we got that far? Thank God I didn't just start reading. All right, we're close. Thank you, Sarah. All right, I'm at 10-3-7-2, so I should get a little bit further. I would write it in, you guys, in the top, but that's what I did last time. And remember, it took me all the way back to the beginning of 2020. So I'm like afraid to do that, which is why I'm doing it this way. So we are at 10, 4, oh wait, 10, where am I at 4? We're getting there. Let me do page down. Will that work? Yes, that works better. Look at that. All right, so what was it? 10-4. I got this, y'all. Yeah, you were wondering what those numbers are. 10-4-3-7. We got this. So we're at 10-2. I'm just going to keep my finger on page down. I'm almost there. 10-4-3-7. We're at 10. Oh my gosh, you guys, thank God I didn't reread all these. I think I forget that. Oh, this better let me be going through this. It is. Hold on. 10-15. Oh, please make sure. Oh, I think it is. Okay. I got nervous. Oh, I'm only like 100 back. We're almost there. We're almost there. But anyway, so in case you guys weren't here last time, we're in the middle of 2020. So we're in September of 2020. And it is Dom's birthday. We are at 10-4. We're there. Next time I will make sure that I have like 3 of them open. All right, we're almost there. We're 10 pages away. Oh, we're at 10-4-20. All right, 10-4-3. We're almost there. All right, so I'll start right around here because I'm afraid. All right, so we're starting at 10-4-3-2. Actually, we can go down a little bit. 4, 5, 6. Please, dear St. Anthony. 7. Okay, I think we're here. Ooh. Oh, this is when he says, I'll KILL myself. So she says, are you trying to hurt me? Why are you saying this to me? Like, if you don't stop, there will be issues. Who the F says that to anyone? Like, you must want to hurt me. And then I just don't want to feel like this anymore. I think she keeps asking him to come back. And then she says she's going to tell his mom. And then she's where he's at. And he says that he's with his mom. So I think we were a little bit further. So let's see. I can't say shit without you getting mad at me. That's why I just don't say anything. Then she says, I could literally say I feel sad and you would get so mad. Do you think that's hard? Do you think it's hard for you? It's stressful for me too. I have to think before I say anything around you. I try so effing hard to keep you not mad. You will never understand. You guys, if you know anyone that's 16 and has a relationship like this, tell them to run far. Like, this is so unhealthy. She says you can be a man and come back or choose to be a child. So she's like demasculating him. Like, I haven't even been able to put his effing glass down. Dom, I said, come back right now or I will tell mom. And then he does tell his mom. So I'm going to go down because I can remember that. It was his birthday when we left off, which is next. Oh, and then remember when he says you're 18, he says you're 16 and I'm 18. We're far from mature. And she says, I'm mature AF. You're choosing to act like this. If you were mature, you wouldn't cry over a picture. I didn't cry over a picture. I cried because I feel it feels like an excuse. And then he says, I told you exactly why, but okay. Then they say, she says, like, you don't understand. Like, you're the only person in the world who doesn't want anyone to know it's their birthday. Kyle probably is going to post, oh, this is when they were saying about posting. We did read this. I don't ask for people to post me. And she says, that's because people post you because they like you. And he said, like, if he said anything, I'd say no. And she says, that's what people do for your birthday. And I feel like it's only an issue because it's me and you don't want people to know. And I will always feel like that. So I guess she feels like he's hiding her as far as their relationship. Okay, let's see. So then she says, he says, I don't like the attention. So I'm done with my birthday. She says, come back so we could talk. He says, we can just forget it. She says, no, we can't. He says, you can take the slides back. She says, I'm so done. He says, my new birthday is March 5th. Does anybody know what March 5th is and why he says his new birthday? Because I remember reading that last time and I don't know what that's about. Like, where did you get March 5th? She says, F this. He says, you can. I think he's talking about bringing the shoes back, the slides. I just don't want to deal with this shit. And then he says, we don't have to do anything for my birthday. Again, we can just have another birthday for you because it's all about her, right? She says, did you leave? Question mark, question mark. Come in your room. Not right now, he says. Soon, yes. Could I hit a bong or something? My anxiety's up. He says, sure. She says, want to take a dab together? And he says, no, I'm mad. I'm very upset with everything. She says, it's everything okay? I heard hella yelling. And I'm sorry, babe. Is there anything I can do to help you? And he says, no, I live a miserable life. She says, your real life hasn't even started if you think about it. Oh, it's a shame she takes his life before it can start. He said, it's been miserable. I'm miserable. I don't know if you guys remember this. I'm going to go down a little bit because he just talks about it like miserable. And then let's see. So we're still at 7 o'clock at night. Let's keep going because I know his birthday's the next day. Why are you not answering? Oh, remember he talks to his mom, but he threatens that she's going to call his mom. So I think he just winds up talking to his mom. And then he says, when I come back, let's not talk much. If you guys remember, Dom lives next door to his mom. She owns both properties. And Mackenzie's at his house at this moment. And he goes next door to talk to his mom. And he's telling her, when I come back, I don't want to talk about anything. And she says, I've been here for a while. He says, why do you have to leave in 10 minutes? She said at 10. Meanwhile, she has to leave because she just turned 16 the month before and has school tomorrow. With that being said, to you guys, a few people asked me about what I think about her diagnoses. This is the problem because she's 15, 16, and then 17 when the accident happens. She's not even old enough to be diagnosed with a personality disorder if it was real life. So I do think that if I seen her in therapy, I would have wrote narcissistic and borderline traits. I don't know if anybody else feels other things. I did have a question about drug-induced schizophrenia with at least Dom. This is the thing. So I want to give, I think it was Look Squirrel is the one that said that. Look Squirrel, I want to give you an A and let me tell you why. Dom's brother, Nick, is a paranoid schizophrenic who has psychosis often. So he has delusions and hallucinations often, and he talks about it on one of the body cams. So there is schizophrenia within the family. I just don't know that I think Dom has schizophrenia. So I think his brother does. For him, I think from the little bit I've been able to gather, I think he has trauma from his childhood. I think that he was SA'd as a kid, and you'll see why eventually. And it probably won't be tonight because there's so many messages, but eventually he does say something to her about it because she calls him gay and literally questions him about being gay. And he gets really, really mad about it. So I think that he's dealing with childhood trauma. I think he also has depression and anxiety. And I think he reacts I think they both have a reactive attachment. So with that being said, let's keep going. Okay, she says, please just come. I've been here so long. He says, okay, give me a sec. She says, okay, bet. Come now. Question mark, question mark. Okay, this is where we left off. Happy birthday, babe. So now it is 9/24/2020, and it is 3:21 a.m. Happy birthday, baby. I know you don't F with cringe shit, but I want to tell you how much you mean to me. You are the only person who's been there for me this long, and you do so much for me. I wish I could spoil you like you spoil me. You really are the best. I can't believe we met so damn long ago. It feels like last month where we were laying on the dugout roof talking for hours. I'm so glad we met. I love you, babe. Thanks for everything. And I'm going to make today a good day. He says, oh my gosh, I'm really sad. And this is he texts right back. So it's still 3 in the morning, 3:30. He says, and by the way, that was still hella glass. There's still hella glass on the floor. I just cleaned up the rest. And she said, why are you sad, babe? If you guys remember, excuse me, a rig broke the night before and she cleaned up all the glass and she was bitching because she had blood. And now he's telling her that she didn't get it all. She says, want to FaceTime for a little at 3 a.m. He said, I broke my TV and there's glass on my floor. And I broke my nice TV for no reason. She says, I'm sorry, babe. I know it sucks. I feel like you shouldn't think too much about it. He says, nah, I just suck. 19 isn't going anywhere. So now you guys remember, if you remember like a day or two ago, he writes that she's 16 and he's 18. Now she just turned 16 and he's 19. He says, neither is 20. She says, babe, don't say that. And he says, or any other year of my life. She says, you're 1 year closer to being a millionaire. And then says billionaire. And he says, yeah, no, all that shit overplayed. My mom said, I'll never do it. Wow. And to just go back to college. He had a recording studio like built in his house. So I think he thinks that he's going to make music until he hits a famous song. And then she says, OMG, why would she say that? You're the smartest person I ever met, Dom. And he says pretty much what she said. And then she says, well, it's a lie. You will be rich as F one day. And he said, she doesn't think I'm going to make any money without school unless it's illegally. What? Okay, 10496, if you're writing it down still. 10496. I need to come back to this one. She doesn't think I'm going to make money without school unless it's illegally. So they talked about illegal ways. So if you guys remember, he sells, I have to say rugs. So like a rug. So he sells rugs. She says, so many people do it. Why can't you? Babe, you tell me all the time and how I shouldn't work a job my whole life every day. Oh my God. Meanwhile, I work 1 million hours a week, you guys. And he's like telling her not to work. Like all those books you read, you know how to be successful. You already are on the way there, babe. And he says, oh my gosh, you guys, it's still 3:30 a.m. I can't. He says, I'm just a kid who throws temper tantrums. And you know that. And she says, babe, it's not your fault. Getting mad isn't stopping you from being successful. You're smart as shit, and you've already found ways to keep your anger on the low. He says, nah, not really. She says, and I know sometimes I can stress you out a lot, but I'm never mean. 2, I usually just want to be with you. He says, this isn't helping, Kenzie. I still feel like shit. She says, babe, I want to help you. He says, I don't know what time to do tomorrow. Probably just keep working for real. I wish you looked at yourself how I see you, says Mackenzie. You're special, babe. You deserve a day to relax and do whatever you want and not be on a schedule. He says, yeah, but what am I going to do? Nothing. I go out to eat food that just is going to hurt my. She says, I mean, you could do anything. Babe, I'll do whatever you want to do tomorrow. And he says, I'm just going to make more bread and God will watch me extra that day. Oh, make more bread. I'm like, wait, he's making bread. He means money. Oh my gosh. She says, whatever makes you happy, because I'll always be right with you. I feel so bad. I also want to cry. I wish I was with you right now. He says, why? She says, I just feel bad because you deserve so effing much. He says, I'm honestly a terrible person. She said, like, you're my world, babe. And you're shitting on yourself. Like, you are literally the most unique person I've ever met, and you are so effing smart. Just because you get mad sometimes doesn't mean you're terrible. I could never look at you as a terrible person. He says, I've been terrible to everyone I know. She says, babe, no, you haven't. You are just mad. You is not the same person and will never be. Babe, FaceTime won't go to alcohol. Wait, she's like trying to type so fast that it's not making sense. Babe, I for real won't go to alcohol tomorrow so I can be there with you. See, I figured it out. Oh, and then see, she even did. She corrected it. That's what I thought she said. I wish you could FaceTime or call me. He says, no, go to school. She says, babe, you need to not be so hard on yourself. He says, I need to change my ways. She says, everyone does, babe. Please listen to me when I tell you that you're special. I love you, babe. I want to cheer you up. You deserve happiness. I'm going to stay up until you cheered up. He says, no, I'm not going to be cheered up. She said, don't let anyone tell you that you're not going to make it. Babe, it's your birthday. Please cheer up. Babe, FaceTime me. Let's talk. And he says, no, all my birthday did was make problems. And she says, but it didn't. It's just another day. Don't even look at it like your birthday. Babe, I'm going to be really uncomfortable going back to sleep, leaving you like this. And then she says, babe, let me be there for you. And he says, I broke my TV and my bong. And she says, babe, I can get you a new bong. It won't have the same memories, but I can get it for you. So that was one of the things, you guys. The rig broke, which was his bong. And she was like, but I can get a new one. Like, I'll help you clean it up. And his big thing was that it won't be the same because there's memories. So he clearly ties important memories to these specific things. Okay, so let's see. Let's keep going. Like, I just threw out a couple hundred. She says, I know, and that sucks, but you shouldn't keep thinking about it or you're just going to feel shitty. You guys, it's still, just so we know, it's not even 4 a.m. So all of this messaging has happened in the last 20 minutes. Like, you can replace everything. And you got that TV on Christmas, right? Like, I can get you a new TV or a new rig. Babe, please let me help you. He says, no, I think I got it when I broke my last TV. She says, I think you got it on Black Friday or Christmas. He says, no, I'm going to just work tomorrow for real. She says, not all day. He says, I'm going to just keep working. She said, if that makes you happy, go for it. But I feel like you deserve a day off. You work every day. You've been working so long too. Babe, I want to FaceTime you. He says, I don't want to. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, you guys. She says, please let me be there for you. I'm trying so hard to cheer you up. Did you ever go to sleep? Did what I sent you on Snap make you like happier? And now we're still talking before 4 a.m. He says, okay, I'm cheered up. What? In like 2 minutes. Thank you. I guess he's trying to get her to go to bed. She says, don't lie to me. You promise? Oh my God, what a dummy she is. He says, yeah. She says, okay, I'll believe you, but only a little, LOL. What to do? Because you're my main focus right now. He says, I want you to get enough sleep and go to school tomorrow. She says, well, I'm kind of sad because I wish I was with you, all cuddled up with you. I probably can sleep in a little. He says, just don't smoke any weed. It's not going to help. She says, babe, I care about you a lot. I just want to let you know. He says, you won't wake. Wait, what? You won't wake? Oh, what the frig does that mean? She says, I'm comfy as F. I'm not getting up. But read that big paragraph I sent you. If you didn't, remember, don't let anyone tell you that you're not going to make it, because you are. He says, right now, I don't know. And again, you guys, it's still 4 a.m. She says, right now, you don't, but you tell me all the time that you will be rich. So stop telling yourself you're not, because one person said that you weren't, which was his mom. She says, babe, I love you. And he says, yeah, but like, even if I get rich, what then? Nothing. It doesn't mean anything if I'm not happy. That's true. She says, how do you know you won't be happy? He says, or she then says, you're still a kid until like 25. Oh, at least she was paying attention. You have so much time. He says, I don't remember being fully happy. Maybe when I was little. She says, most people aren't, babe. Life gets better. He says, yeah, when I was a kid, I was happy at times. She says, it always will. He says, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. Don't get your hopes up. She says, it does though. He says, you wouldn't know. She says, last summer, I was so effing sad for weeks straight. I hid my sadness with happiness. I do know. I've had anxiety since I was like 3 years old. He says, anxiety, happiness, and sadness, all different things. I am not laughing at her, you guys. I'm laughing because she said that she's had anxiety since she was 3 years old, like she remembers it yesterday. She says, anxiety brings me sadness and happiness. Huh? Makes me so emotional as shit. Please trust me, babe. I feel like you should just go to bed. He says, I can't look at my phone much longer. My eyes are going to get messed up. She says, of course, that's okay, babe. And it's 4:12. You can't FaceTime me? I think that, oh yeah, FaceTime. Can you FaceTime me? If you want, I'll be here. Just one call away. And he said, wish I wouldn't have broke my TV. She says, how much is your TV? He says, I don't know. I don't know. It was a waste of money. She says, when I start my job, I'll go get a new one. He says, I don't really use it. No, that's wasting money. Just our word. I broke my nice one. Babe, it's not wasting money. It's not wasting money if it's for you. But I don't want to make your eyes hurt. Please try to sleep too. And he says, I don't know what to do. She says, with what, babe? And he says, I got up and vacuumed the glass earlier. She says, or emphasized, with what, babe? What about it, babe? I can't get comfy. He says, me either. She says, my neck's just hurting. He says, I'm just laying on my shoulder and it's sore. She says, why is it sore? Are you sure you don't want to FaceTime for a little bit? He says, I don't know. I don't know what I will do. She says, just talk for a little bit. Help us get tired. He says, I don't know if that will help. She says, well, can we try? What do you think? He says, I won't be able to stay awake. She says, we can just talk. He says, I'm trying to think of you, of why I'm sad. I'm trying to think of why I'm sad. Actually, I'm done with my brain. Wow, that's not even what I was thinking of. She says, come on, FaceTime me. Get your mind off shit. Meanwhile, you guys, it's 4:28 in the morning. Dom, please let me cheer you up. He says, I told you I was cheered up. She says, I'm trying to think of why I'm sad. Oh, she emphasized what he heard. Well, then let's talk. I can't sleep now either. He says, basketball is on and I can't even watch. and I have a headache. She says, I'm sorry, babe. I wish I was with you. He says, nothing you can do, nothing you can be sorry about. She said, I just feel bad. Um, he says, right, I'm done being sad. She says, okay, goof. And then they go to bed. So now at 6:30, only 2 hours later, she wakes up and says, morning, babe. And he says, good morning, babe. Why you have to steal my jackets? And she said, I wore it home, babe. How's your day going? Well, meanwhile, it didn't even start. He says, terrible. I just got up. I'm just going to work today. You guys, this is so funny. I had to come on here because I had to see what happened on his birthday. And we've already read for a half hour, and we're only at the morning of his birthday still. She says, it will get better. I'm in my first class right now. He said, I really don't care. She says, okay. You don't need to be mean to me for no reason. I'm trying to cheer you up. And he says, sorry that I said that, because if my day gets better, question mark. She says, can I walk over after school? He says, when is that? She says, 2:30, I think, around then. And he says, I don't know. I'm still just laying in bed. I haven't ate breakfast either. She says, I'll make you food. We can make pancakes. He says, pancakes have a bunch of sugar and they're weird in my stomach anyway. And she said, want me to get pulp? He says, no, that wouldn't fill me up either. I ate part of a banana. It wasn't good. She said, I can get you anything you want, any food. He says, I don't know what I want. Nothing sounds good. She says, cereal? Or I'll for real get you anything. He says, I have cereal here that I can make. Cereal that he can make. She says, are you saying you don't want to hang out with me? And he says, I don't know what I want to do. She says, I want to hang with you today, with a sad face. Come on, babe. I'm going to have to walk home. He said, I just feel like there's no point of anything today. She says, there is, babe. Stop talking like that. We can just do nothing. We can't just do nothing and play. We can just do nothing and play Brawl Stars. I think that's their video game. I also don't want to walk home. He says, I don't want to play Brawl Stars. I was going to play last night, but it just seemed R word as F. She says, literally stop being a martyr. Cheer up. I've been trying so hard for 15 hours now. What do you want me to do? I'm just trying to come hang with you and make you happy. He says, you don't have to do anything. She says, let me come over. He says, and then what? She says, why does it always need to be something? Can't I just come and chill? I just want to come hang and see you. And he says, how can I face the enemies outside if I can't face them within myself? That was deep, you guys. She says, please tell me if I'm the thing that makes you miserable, because you're making me feel like it's me. You're really about to not let me come see my babe on his birthday. Meanwhile, I speak Mackenzie Shrilla. I can speak right through or understand what she's trying to say here. He says, no, and I don't know. She says, well, I'm going to have to walk home with no jacket if you don't want me to come. Meanwhile, he just said that she stole all of his jackets. Then she says, it really feels like I'm the issue. He says, why is it my problem? And it's warm AF outside. She says, it's not. He says, I was hot with a jacket. She says, I'm going to be passing your house. Do you want to see me? Do you not want to see me that bad? I dressed up for you. And he says, or he questioned, I'm going to be passing the house. And she says, passing your house. See, I told you I talk Mackenzie. If I walk home. He says, Kenzie, it's not that. I don't want to see you. It's that I literally feel like shit and see no point at all of doing anything today or the next day or the day after. I've left my bed twice today and I have a headache and my back hurts. She says, that's not good talk, babe. I want to be there for you. I'll rub your back.
Please let me be there for you. He says, I can't face the enemies outside if I can't even face the enemies within me. So he says it a second time. She says, I don't get what that means. Oh my gosh, she doesn't understand that. She says, like, please let me come see you. I've been so excited all day. We don't have to do anything. And he said, that's not it. She says, please, babe. Like, I really want to see you. I don't like how you're talking. You're worrying me. I won't even say anything. We can just lay. I'll get you whatever food you want. He says, I don't want to do that. She says, so you're really not going to let me come see you? He says, right now, I just want to lay alone till I figure out if I feel better. She says, can we please hang sometime today, please? It makes me so upset thinking about not seeing you on your birthday. I don't want to go home when you're over there sad AF. He says, if I go to Kyle's later, we could probably hang. I might bail though. Oh, well. She says, don't bail, even if you don't want to. Please. He says, it all started yesterday after I broke my TV. She says, it will be good. Trust me. That's why I feel like this is all my fault. He says, why would I go do something if I don't want to? She says, because it's good. You've been laying in bed all day, sad. You deserve to have fun, a little fun. Please, babe. He says, this isn't helping. This is making me reject your way of thinking more. She says, thanks, Mom. He says, that wasn't an insult, but okay. She says, well, I'm leaving now. Leaving now. So this is your last chance. Oh, I guess to come over. He said, I want to say yeah, but I feel like bum still. She said, it's okay if you feel like that. Please let me come. Just let me come. I'm outside. She's outside. He said, outside where? She said, school. I'm walking towards home. He said, okay. She said, okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, I think that's it. That was at 2:28. So this is the deal. She must have went there. And because look, she says, I'm walking towards home. And he says, okay. And she must go there because she would have texted him 1,000 more times on his birthday. So the next message isn't until the next morning at 6:30 a.m. Morning, babe. Oh my God. Could you guys imagine every morning at 5, 6 in the morning, you woke up to morning, babe, morning, babe. Oh my God. I would die. He says, good morning, babe. She says, I'm about to leave Polaris. Polaris, just for anybody that doesn't know, is it's like a side school, not a side school, a tech school that you would go to in high school. She wants to be she wants to go to cosmetology school. So they have a school called Polaris. She spent $400. She lets us all know on supplies, or her mom did, whatever. And now she doesn't know she has school. I have no school at all today. He said, that's dope. She says, want to hang? Oh my gosh. He says, I don't know. I want to go to Trevor's and maybe hoop today. She says, well, if you're hooping at home, I'll watch. Or we can hang after you do that. He says, I don't want to shoot the ball for 10 minutes. I want to actually get an exercise. She says, want to just hang after? And he said, probably. She said, okay, yay. Let me know what's going on. He says, for show. Oh, my daughter taught me that earlier. I was like, Ava, what's FASHO? She was like, for show. I was like, oh, okay. Like I knew that. So for show. She says, snap. He says, what about it? She said, when should I be over? Also, snap. And then she writes ASAP. Question, when should I be over? So he's not answering quick enough. He says, I don't know. I'm coming home from Trevor's now. Still have to shower. She says, I'm going to get a Lincoln. All blacked out. So remember, she was looking at cars. That just came out of nowhere, but I think that's what she's talking about. I'm pretty sure. And how should I dress for right now? He said, I don't know. I haven't showered yet. I don't know if I should wash my hair. She says, when was the last time you washed it? He says, I don't know. She said, just wash it. Do I wear a dress? He says, come over whenever. If you want to, but probably the tight dress, if so. She says, I'm going to wear a different dress than the red one, a blue one. He says, what? She says, I'm gonna wear a blue dress. And he says, let me see it. She said, and I'll probably be over in an hour, probably. I'll send you a pic of one in a second. He says, okay, try to be sooner if you can. She says, I can't find a pic. He says, LOL. She says, I'm gonna be over sooner. I'm gonna dress really cute for you. He says, okay, bet. So then she says, see you in a sec. It's on the way. And then he sends her a cars.com vehicle for her to look at. And she says, see the other one, the first one you showed me. And he says, the Buick? And she says, yes. And then he sends her the Buick. And then he sends her another one, like another car, and then another car. And she writes, shit, last one's nice. And he said, I'll look when I see you in a sec. And she says, okay, bet. I'm out. What are you doing now? And he said, just rolled them a fast ass blunt, about to dip out soon. Okay. Dip where, babe? You're at Kyle's, right? And he here, yeah, I was with AJ and Tyler. She says, okay, bet. When you done, come here. He says, I'm here. And that's at 9:26, so the day after his birthday at 3:01 p.m. I'm at your house. Come out. Let's go get some food. She says, when? Just coming out. Someone's behind us now. Never mind. Oh my God, my phone is effed. I'm on my iPad. What are you doing today, babe? All right, so what time is this? So you guys, he must have picked her up. So if you go back a little bit, sorry about that. If you go back, this is the last message from the night. Never mind. And then they must get picked up and go out wherever they were going to eat or whatever. I think it was for his birthday. And then the next day, her phone's effed. And now we're at 10 a.m. Oh gosh, it was a long time for her to call. He says, right now, just texting. I got to shower soon. I might make more edibles. Oh, she said, can I come help? He says, maybe. She said, let me know, babe. I just drive on Pearl and Royalton and Prospect. You guys, she just drove on Prospect. That's where the car accident was. I'm telling you guys, people said that like she went there and like that wasn't a place that people went because it was like an industrial type complex. But here there was a cut through, and this is like the second or third time just in the 2 lives that we did that she talks about cutting through that road. So I feel like that was a road that they did cut through. I mean, I don't know what that says, but I'm just saying, I don't think it was like a first time or that she went there for the first time the day before or whatever. He says, did you drive good? She said, yes, hella good. He says, I felt nice. I need breakfast. What do I eat? She said, I had prosciutto and eggs. He said, that doesn't help me. She says, well, you can make that. He says, I'm going to make something. She said, it's bacon again. Or, Dom, he says, what's up? And sends a few attachments. And it looks like it looks like her and him. She said, I'll be over soon. He says, can I go smoke with my cousin? Actually, we can just chill. She said, can I come with? I'm going to come back soon, though. And he says, no, I'll probably just smoke with Smesh for now. We can chill, though. She says, I'm confused. So can I come over when I'm on the way home? And he said, yeah. She says, okay, bet. Morning, babe. So I guess she goes over the night. So now it's the next morning. It's 9/28/2020 at 6:38 a.m. Morning, babe. OMG. Did you sleep through your alarm? Where are you? Like here. So this is the thing. He said, I'm at a stop sign. I think it's ridiculous that it's his responsibility now to pick her up and take her to school. She says 10:50 when it ends. And he says, okay, So I guess he's going to pick her up at 10:50. So what time should I be at Polaris by? See, I told you I knew what she was saying. Should I be at Polaris by 10:50? And she says, yes. Come. Are you coming? Let me know when you're close, or vomit, or leaving. I guess she puts the asterisk as if like she needs to correct it. So she meant let me know when leaving, not vomit, which actually, Sarah, if you're still listening, Sarah's like convinced that there's an eating disorder here. So the fact that the word vomit was the word that it replaced it with is a little bit weird. But anyway, I'm still not convinced of an eating disorder. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm not totally convinced yet. So he says, I'm about to be on Prospect still, like 10 minutes. My bad, forgot gas money. She says, it's okay, babe. He says, okay. She says, just hurry, LOL. I don't want to be there at last. We're here. Okay, he says. I am. She says, Harry, my friend won't leave till you're here. And he says, you're fine. I'm in Metro Parks. She says, hurry. He says, about to be there. I'm so sad. I didn't even have my shoes. She said, OMG. What's happening now? He said, I don't know. I'm home now. So now we're at 6:30 at night. You still want to hang? He says, yeah. She says, yay. Want me to come now? When can I come? Question mark, question mark, question mark. He says, I don't know. She says, babe, do you not want to hang anymore? And he says, I've been in a pissy mood. She says, it's okay if you don't want to. You can still drive me to school tomorrow, right? And he says, yeah. You can come over if you want. She says, right now, question mark? Do you want me to come? Now? He says, yeah, you can leave now. Oh my gosh, you guys. She says, okay, bet. On the way, I know you see me in your room. What? That was at 8:54 p.m. I know you see me in your room. That's weird. So then I guess they hang out. Now it's the next morning, 6:50 a.m. on 9/29/2020. Morning. And then she sends him a TikTok. He says, so cute. I'm gonna miss you, baby. And she says, I love you, baby. He says, I love you too, baby. Oh gosh. He says, I'll pick you up, baby. So be there at 10:50. She says, yes, bet. He says, I'm here. I'm early. I'm by where I dropped you off. She says, bet. Early was he? Oh, he was 3 minutes early. She writes, bet. I'll be out in 2 minutes. He writes, I'm out here. She says, coming right now. He says, I'll be by like where you first pull in. She says, where are you at? I guess I was late today. He says, what time did your class start? She said, I for real don't know. I said 12. It said 12. I'm so confused. He says, you should ask them. She says, I will after class, babe. He says, okay. She says, want to drive me home? So this is at 2:30 in the afternoon. Babe, I'm passing right now. Laugh out loud. You left me on red, babe. He says, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got you. I'll get you real quick. I'm chilling with Blair and Kyle. She says, never mind. I got a ride. And he says, okay, bet. She says, should I get a tan? Yes or no? He says, yeah. She says, what are you doing? He says, about to go smoke with those kids. She said, I want to home one of these times, LOL. I'm dark AF right now. He says, I don't know if I want you to meet them. I don't know how much longer I'm going to associate with them. She says, oh, for real? He says, yeah. I might have B deal with them. So this is the thing, you guys. B, in the trial, there's a recording of Mackenzie talking to her mom, and they reference the fact that B was smoking weed in the court or something, and that B is a drug dealer. That's the legend. She says, I'm getting Shinto. He says, oh, gas. She says, I know, right? I'm excited. He says, yeah, their rice hasn't been good lately, though. She says, I've been liking it. So Sarah, she's eating the rice. He says, you don't get the fried rice. She says, yeah, I know. He says, good night, baby. This is at 6:40. Good night, baby, at 6:43. And then he says, do I got to drive you tomorrow at 6:43 a.m.? She says, no, I have a ride to school all day, babe. He says, yay. Can I get my surprise? She said, oh, and then there was nothing after that. So maybe I don't know. But it's 9:06 a.m. on 9:30 when he asked for a surprise. And then on 9:30 at 9:06 a.m., she writes, morning, babe. You definitely can get your surprise. He said, what about my Machino slides? Where are those? She says, they're still in the way. From Italy. You want me to come over, babe? He says, damn, that's taken a while. Yeah. She said, it is annoying. I want them to come. And I'll come right now. Give me a sec to put my lashes on. He says, okay. She says, what are you doing? He says, smoking with my cousin. She says, I'm getting my cat car. So she fixes it and says car. He says, nice. She says, want to hang again? He said, yeah. LYR. Yeah. Let you, I don't know. She said, let me know when you're home. He said, bet. I want to hang, babe, she says. He says, okay, babe. She says, what are you doing? He says, I just got home. You want to come over and bring pulp? She says, yes, I can, but give me a minute because I don't know what I'm aware tomorrow. Get me, she says. FaceTime me. He says, no, you come. She said, I'm a come, babe, and bring pulp. Does anybody know what pulp is? I just don't know what to wear. And then she says, do you still want me over? And he said, get large. And if something has headache relief, let me know. Or if someone has headache relief, let me know. I have a bad headache. If you guys remember on the first live, he took a Percocet for his headache. So I don't know if that's what he means. She says, give me fruit too. He says, or get two again. She says, want. Oh, do you want to? And he said, I just have a headache. And I feel like pulp will help my craving. She says, okay. Give me fruit flavors. He says, question, give me fruit you. She said, what fruit do you want? I think that's what she meant. He said, probably not orange or apple. Like pineapple, banana, lemon, lime, or something like that. Maybe some mango. She says, okay, bet. He says, good night, baby. This is 9:30 at 9:50 p.m. Good night, baby. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, baby. And then here we go again, morning on 10/1/2020 at 6:45 a.m. He says, I'm up. She says, hi, babe. He says, here. So again, he has to go pick her up to take her to school. She says, let me know if you can. Thanks, babe. He says, okay, babe. She says, can you drive me, babe? He says, do you have a ride here? And she said, no, I have to carry a huge ass kit and a mannequin. I mean, I can ride the bus and walk over. It's just going to be pushing it. He says, I'm still in bed and my back hurts and shit. She says, okay, that's fine. I just woke up. And then she changes it to, I'll just walk over. And then he says, okay. She says, make sure your door is unlocked. He says, it should be. She says, okay, bet. I'm leaving my bag at your house. He says, okay. Where are you at, babe? She says, I'm on the bus still. He said, damn, that's tough. She said, I'm about to be at the school. He said, nice. She says, can you drive me back? He says, sure. She says, bet. He says, my back hurts though. She says, I'm going to give you a good massage. He says, okay. Don't leave my shit open and on the dresser. Oh, he says, don't. Okay. So wait, we have an argument here. So now this is to that last one where he said, okay, that was at 11:15 a.m. Now it skips to 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, 11:56. And he says, don't leave my shit open and on the dresser. Not cool. She said, I swear I closed the bag, but I'm sorry, babe. And he said, and my clothes basket is knocked over. You can't close it. Wait, you can't close it with all the air in it either. Oh, she's talking about the weed bag. That doesn't do anything. She says, I'm sorry, babe. Can you drive me home from school today? He says, what? Can you drive me home from school? I have that huge bag. He says, sure. She said, yay. Thank you, babe. I'll walk over then. You can take me home. He said, okay. She said, don't think it went well. Want to hang? Red car just pulled in your driveway. Okay. And he said, I don't know. I'm not home. I'm hanging with Kyle. She said, so you don't want to hang? And he said, not right now, at least. She says, let me know. He said, okay, babe. She says, are you still with Kyle? Okay. Shaking my head. He said, yeah. She said, so you're just going to ignore me? And he said, I'm rolling a wood. She said, does anybody know what the difference is between a wood and a blunt? She says, never mind, I think is what she said. She says, 2 hours, question mark? And he said, it was really hard to roll. It took 2 hours. She said, so hard, I bet it took an hour. So it took him an hour to roll it. Like, you've been weird as F. He says, no, I just didn't see your message. What the F? She said, you didn't see the 3 texts? He said, don't give me shit. I already didn't get any effing sleep because of you. She said, well, thanks, Tom. Thanks for putting it on me. You're being mean about it. Give me worse vibes. He said, I'm sorry. I've been crabby all day. I'm just trying to smoke a wood with AJ and Joey now. We can chill in a little. My mom's making filet. You don't want to? Question mark. He says, oh, do you see that right there? So, oh, wait. So Blackwood is a brand of hand-rolled cigar that they use to roll blunts. Thank you, doll. So we know what a wood is. But wait, so truth, why would he say a blunt sometimes and a wood sometimes? Like, what would a blunt be? Like, is it just a different type? Like, here they use Philly blunts or whatever. So would this be like if he got a different brand? I don't know, because sometimes they say blunt and sometimes he says a wood. And then she says, I do. It's just annoying. Can you pick me up? He said, yeah. She says, I'm just going to leave if you're not trying to be around me. Okay? Me coming over was pointless if you're going to do that. You make terrible decisions. So it has very high nicotine and adds an extra buzz to people who don't smoke cigars. Good to know. Thank you for telling me. Then she says, you make terrible decisions, in caps. I'm leaving. He said, clean off the bed. I'll come chill. Okay? That's fine. And you guys, Blackwoods are more expensive and you have to fill them up with more weed, says Truth. She says, like, you care. He says, okay. She says, you don't even care that you had me come over to sit alone. And you always just tell me to leave. He says, I don't. She said, or say okay when I'm leaving. He says, we chilled for like an hour and a half. She said, you didn't even really say shit to me. He said, I'm not going to say you can't leave. She said, like 4 things. He said, I can barely hear. She said, that would be better than saying okay. She shows me you actually care about fixing this. He said, what's there to fix? She said, you having me come over and to be weird. Oh, she means N-word. Like I said to you, like I asked you to scoop up and you just don't move. Then you go the complete other side. Like, I'm for real going to leave. And if you just say, okay, I'm a for real, be mad. So you guys, this is so effing dysfunctional. I can't even tell you. So she's literally telling him that, wow. She's literally telling him what to do if she tries to leave. So she literally wants him to run after her. And she's telling him that if he doesn't, she'll be mad as F. Like, that is, wow. Okay. You could have been trying to fix it too and come back in here. But you haven't. He said, I couldn't scoop up. There was no way to chill when I came back. She said, there's a whole bed. Like, you're really putting in zero amount of effort. He said, it was full of things. She says, I'm just going to leave. He says, well, I'm tired. So now remember, she just tells him that if she says that she's going to leave, that he better stop her. And she doesn't. She says, this is so annoying. He said, if you really want to. She said, okay, all in caps. You can be tired in here. I'm for real mad as F. Like, you really have me over just to act like this? And he said, I didn't try to. She says, yeah, I know. You never try when you upset me. I'm going to leave. If you cared and want to fix the problem, we would be back in here. And then she says, the fact that you can't say anything, should have known you were not going to answer. You could have just told me you were going to ignore me. So I didn't think you actually would this time. Like, if you can't give effort, this shit is not going to be good. And then wait, that's at 11 o'clock at night. And then bright and early at 7:30 in the morning, she writes, morning, babe. Oh my God. One of my cousins has COVID and Donald Trump has it. Reply. He says, how did I block you? She says, right now. So she's saying reply right now. And then she said, ISTG. I don't know. And then she said, what are you doing? And he says, mad. My mom never scheduled my ear appointment. Meanwhile, he's almost 20. She says, oh no, is your ear still acting up? And he says, it hasn't stopped, babe. I haven't been able to hear for 2 weeks. This is the thing, you guys. So in one breath, he wants to live alone like an adult. So he lives next door in a different house than his mom. It's still his mom's property. And then in the next minute, he wants his mom to make his appointment, which I guess is normal for somebody in young adulthood from 18 to 24. But it just shows the lack of maturity on either side. She says, do you know how to make an appointment? He says, I don't effing know. I'll look it up on the internet. I need my ear specialist though, not a regular doctor. And she said, oh shit, where do you even go for that? Like a hospital? Text me when you have a minute. He says, what? She said, how much? How much for 10 pre-rolls? Logan wants them for his birthday. He said, for 10 pre-rolls? I don't know. I don't have any right now. She said, yes. Can we make some? I'm about to go get my temps. He said, nice. Oh, her temporary teeth. You guys, she had 10 cavities and went to the dentist, and her mom told her that they would knock her out so that she could get her to go. So when she goes and they try to numb her mouth, which they do successfully, she freaks out and leaves the dentist and doesn't get her 10 cavities filled. So then she and her mouth is like swollen, or she says it's swollen. It's not, it's just numb for the day. And she was like freaking out. She's like, I'm not going to be able to ever get feeling back in my lip. I'm like, oh my God. But then she finds another dentist and goes. So I think that's what she's talking about, her temporaries. He says, yeah, we probably can. She says, bet. How much should I tell him? It's for his birthday. He says, I don't know. She says, he wants to know a price. He said, I don't know. I feel so shitty. She said, want to hang? He says, I don't know. I really need food, but I don't feel like making any or going anywhere. And I didn't even go to the doctor's for my ear. She said, I'll go get you something. What do you want? I'm out right now. He said, do you want food? Just get something you want and come hang out. We can watch TV or something. She said, bet. Right now? Question mark. He said, yeah. She said, on the way. He said, what are you getting? She says, we'll figure it out when I'm there. He says, but I don't want to drive anywhere. Never mind. It's whatever. I'm not gonna do anything anyway. She said, bruh, are you for real? He said, what? She says, so you don't want me to come over anymore? Laughing my ass off. Like, you can tell me what to get. I'll go. He says, it's cool. It's too much to ask for anyway. She said, no. He says, I don't know what to get also. She said, give me ideas. He says, I don't know. It's cool. She says, babe, do you want Aladid or whatever? Oh, Aladdin. She wrote it wrong. So, and then she fixes it. Do you want Aladdin? Penn Station? Five Guys? Chipotle? Pulp? I guess Pulp somewhere to eat. And he sounds good. He said, I don't know. I had Five Guys yesterday. So no to that. She said, what about the other places? He said, Penn Station will ruin my sub. So not there. Oh. I'm going to pray right now that whoever keeps running my sub dies. That's terrible. She said, I'll make sure they don't. Oh my God. I'll go in. He says, no. She said, let me help you. And he says, it's okay. You don't got to get mad. You don't got to get me anything. Just forget it. And she said, I want to help you, babe. I want to get you food, then cuddle. I'll make sure they make it good. He says, no, I hate Penn Station. I never want food from there again. She said, what about Aladdin's? So no. Chick-fil-A? I really hope your phone died. And he said it did. She says, what about Chick-fil-A? I'm right by it. And he said, I'm okay. She said, so you just don't want to hang anymore. Cool. And he said, I don't know. Now my mom is home. She said, so no. And he said, I don't know. I love you, babe. She says, love you too, babe. And then that was at 10:02. Oh my gosh, we're only at 10:02 at 5:46 p.m. Then on 10:02 at 7:47 p.m., she writes, babe, what's up now? He says, I'm at Chris's house. He bowed to eat some mushrooms. So they're doing shrooms. She says, what? You're tripping? And he said, no, he's about to. I want to, but I probably can't. She says, oh shit, I'm home, babe. And he says, what? She says, also want to have a sleepover? He says, yeah. She says, scoop me when you're coming home. He says, okay, babe. She says, will you be at Chris's house for a while? He says, I'm about to roll a wood, so it'll be a big. She says, damn, I don't want to get tired. Oh, it'll be a little is what I think he meant. She said, damn, I don't want to get tired. He says, you want me to ask if you can come? She said, yes. Who's all there? Babe. And then questioned, who's all there? And he says, me, Chris, and Morgan. Morgan is her best friend, you guys, that he cheated on her with. Well, can I come? And he said, I bet. She says, Dom, all in caps, can I come? Yes or no? You're making no sense. And he says, yeah, laugh out loud. She said, are you getting me? And he said, I wouldn't be back for like 30 minutes though, to Chris's house. It's kind of far. She says, or it doesn't say what she says. And he says, just get dropped off. His mom isn't home. It'll be fun. She said, Kay, what's the addy? I'm coming now. And I need to tell you something. Question mark. Dom, can you please answer fast? I'm getting bad vibes. And then he gives her the street address, which they probably could have blacked out. Had I known, I would have. And then she said, emphasized, and I need to tell you something. And he says, what do you need to tell me? Is it really bad? And she says, And he says, I already had a bad day. I don't want to deal with anything else. Is it going to make me sad? She says, I don't know. It shouldn't. And I'll be there in 2 minutes. He says, can you just text me? She said, I don't want anyone to see or you to think I'm being rude. And he said, no one will text on Snap or something. Oh, no one will. Just text on Snap or something. She says, I don't know. I'm going to be there in 1 minute. And he says, okay, I'm going to unlock the door in a second. She said, is that you? Oh my God, in the driveway? And he says, I think you get it. She said, I can't pull in capital letters. I love you, babe. And then he says, good morning, babe. I love you. Oh, that's a first that he's texting her in the morning. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. She says, I'm out, babe. He says, of what? The shower? Oh my God, that's funny. She says, yeah. I thought she meant like out of the house. He said, what's the plan for today? You want to make bacon and eggs? And she says, answer. He said, sorry, I hit answer and you hung up. She says, I'm really sad, babe. He says, it's okay, babe. Guinea pigs don't live long. He says, in the wild, they'd already be eaten by some shit. You gave it way better life than it would have had. Oh my God. It could have got fed to a snake. And also, if it was sick, now it's finally at peace. And she says, true. But Pinky was my first baby. He was 6. Oh, she talks about Pinky all the time, you guys, like in old text. He says 6 years old. She said they lived till 6 or 7. I just felt like he was so littered. He said, or I feel like he was so littler. I don't know. He said, that's old as AF. I swear yours used to only live like 3 to 4 years. She said, really, babe? He said, yeah. She says, this is just so sad. What are you doing today? And he says, right now I'm about to make breakfast. Then I might go meet up with a homie. She says, what are you doing when you're back? And he says, I don't know, probably kick it, watch the Browns. What are you doing right now? And she said, I'm about to go chill at the lake. I just need to calm down. We about to move Charlotte next to Gunter. Can I watch with? And he said, you want a joint? She said, I made one myself, LOL. I want to hang. And then he says, you want to hang till I leave? She says, yes. Give me a minute. I'm going to eat something real quick. There, she's eating again. I'm starving. He said, I was getting ready to go somewhere and got dizzy AF all of a sudden. She says, are you okay, babe? When are you leaving? I want to hang. And he said, you can come over right now if you want to. And she said, when are you leaving? Because I want to eat. I have to go to the Giant Eagle, or I can come right now. And he said, oh, I'm going to hit a joint real quick. And if I'm not dizzy, I'm leaving. And she said, okay, I'm going to come real quick. I'm coming now. See you soon, babe. When you have to leave, just take me home. And then that was on 10/4 at 12:12 p.m. So in the afternoon, they must have hung out because now it's next morning on 10/5 at 7:15 a.m. Morning, babe. Let me know if you can scoop. If not, my mom can. He says, you want me to be a Polaris at 1? And again, Polaris is her beauty school. And then he says 10:50. And she says, yes, I'm ready. How far are you? He says, there you go, Prospect. And I don't know if that's Ibion, but Prospect is the name of the street that the accident was on. She says, damn, where are you at now? And he's about to be there. And she said, question mark, where are you? Dom. LOL, please don't forget about an alarm. And we can FaceTime if you want. And he said, okay. And then look, it's the next morning. That was the shortest day of text messages ever. So, and I guess it's because he picked her up at 10 a.m. So then this is at 6:20 a.m. Morning, babe. And then he writes, good morning, babe. She said, how did you sleep? He says, not bad. She said, I was in a deep ass sleep, laughing my ass off. What are you doing? Close, question mark. And then question again, close. And he says, here. She says, wait, what time was that? That was at 7:30 in the morning. She said, how's your appointment? He said, it's not wax in my ear. My hearing isn't bad right now, though. And she says, did you already go? And he said, so I'm waiting to see the doctor. No, he looked at my ears. Then we did a hearing test. I'm waiting for him to come back. She said, I hope they give you something to help you. It's been going on way too long. I hope you're okay, babe. I just left Polaris. And then he sends her an attachment. It's a picture. And then he says, look at this, though. Kristen would still probably say Trump's dumber. She says, damn, she definitely would. Did he really say that? And he said, yeah. She says, oh, for real? And he said, yeah, look on the account's Instagram. And she says, what are you doing? He says, I'm home. He's home at 12 in the afternoon. She said, what are you doing today? Are you going to be busy? And he said, for a bit, yes. She said, then hang, question mark. He says, probably. She said, yay, word hunt, and sends him word hunt. And then he says, laughing my ass off, she says, word hunt. She sends it again. He says, I'm going to play in a second. I'm driving right now. And then she says, play soon. And he said, okay, bet. She said, big. And then he plays. And he says, doll or damn. And then she says, damn. I guess we have to play again. And then she says, word hunting. She sends it again. She sends it again. And he says, bet, give me a sec. And she said, what are you doing? And he said, I'm at the crib. She says, what are you doing at the crib? Laughing my ass off. And he says, organizing. And she says, are you still busy? He says, I'm kind of just chilling now, waiting for Kyle. She says, I want to hang. He said, want to hang later maybe? Also, Lakers game tonight. She says, oh, damn. He says, do you have school tomorrow? She says, only players, babe. And he said, can someone else drive you? She said, yes, babe. And then I'm home. And now we have the next morning at 7:47 a.m. Morning, babe. And he says, good morning, babe. Who the F is Ben? She said, I meant to say Ben, laughing my ass. LOL, babe. Oh, she meant to say babe. But it corrected to Ben. Uh-oh, he got real jealous all of a sudden, didn't he? She said, you know, my babe. He said, not bad. I'm about to lay for a bit longer. She says, some reason when all my alarms went off this morning. One went off at 6 a.m. and I thought it was 7. It was so gay. I hate when they say that. He says, so what? Get up early. She says, hella early, like 2 hours early. He said, now you got extra time. She said, how, LOL. My class didn't start until 8. He said, laugh out loud. I don't know. And she said, oh, bet. By the way, I got this weird as F call last night. I didn't answer, but I did the thing where you save as a contact. I don't know what that thing is. Someone let me know. She said, and it came up as Little Vincent 2024. He said, send it to me. I don't know. She says, it was late as F2. I have no clue who it was. He said, number definitely just got spoofed. And then she said, you think? It was a FaceTime call, not just a regular call. He said, I don't know. You want me to add to Snapchat? She said, yes. He says, okay, I did. She said, I was going to, but I for real have no clue who it is. I need to shower so bad. I have a shit ton of cosmetology work. He says, are you at Polaris or home? She says, home. I'm done with school now. He said, nice. She says, just got out of the shower. What are you doing today, babe? He says, I don't know yet. Reading a little. Wait, did he say reading? A little, got a shower. Hopefully, Jared wants to cop. And she said, can I come over? He says, and what day did I get my poison ivy? And then he says, not right now. And she says, shit, I don't know, a while ago, like a week or so. After you read, question mark, she wants to come over. He said, did I text you about it? Maybe. I'm going to look through messages to see if I can find a message. She says, yes, you definitely did. He said, well, now it put me back at the bottom. I guess I'll just read. And she does a sideways face. Where you at, babe? And he says, I'm at home about to take a shit. She said, you want to hang soon? He says, we can hang. Let me figure out what I want to do. It's grind time these next days. And she says, oh, for real? Bet, babe. He says, want to help me get a vape order? She's like, sure. He said, I love you, babe. And she said, love you too, babe. Let me know when I can come. I can bring pulp or something. He says, okay, babe. She says, what are you doing, babe? He said, just got out of the shower. Babe, what if we were rock stars? And she said, what, baby? Oh, that would be cool, AF. And then he sends attachments. Oh, wait, that's funny. I guess it looks like someone playing like music, a guitar. And again, he's a musician and not a magician. Yeah, the way I just said that, it sounded like he did magic. You guys know what I mean. He does music. He's a producer and he like makes music. So I don't know. And then he says, what if I was Van Halen or Prince? And she said, well, who would I be? And he said, I don't know. That's the only problem. And she said, lift my ass off. Find a rock star with a girl. And he said, what should I wear? Black jeans or blue jeans? And she says, oh, black. And he said, okay, bet. And he says, I need to find shoes to wear right now. And she says, when you want to hang, babe? He says, I don't know yet. She says, I might go take my driver's test. I want to hang though. And he says, never mind. I still can't wear jeans with my poison ivy. She says, does it make it itch or something? And he says, yeah. She said, I'm about to test. Oh, I guess it says pray on the next one. That's why I said that. I guess she failed the first one. She said, let's pray I pass. Then we can hang. He said, when's that going to be? She said, right now. Then we can hang after. If you down. And he says, probably. She said, what are you doing now? And he said, still at home. Did you pass? And she said, didn't take it yet. Of course, my mom rushes me here and she just doesn't bring my birth certificate or anything. I'm so pissed off. And he said, just go back and get it. She says, I am. It's just annoying as F. We were here. We were there. And he says, I don't know what to say. She says, babe, in capital letters. I passed in capital letters. And then he says, yay. And she said, OMG, I am so hype right now. And he said, bet. She said, are you home? Can I come over? And he said, come over in a little. Me and Angelo is his brother. Me and Angelo and Smesh are hanging out. And Smesh never chills with us anymore. And we going out to dinner. Oh, we're going out to dinner later with my mom and everyone. And she said, okay, bet. And yay, where? How do I dress? And meanwhile, I don't know about you, but did anybody else assume that she was invited to that? I don't know. I didn't take that as if she was definitely invited, but I guess she is. And he says, I don't know, text my mom. And she said, you tell me, babe. Babe. And he says, I don't know what I'm aware, probably more casual. She says, okay, bet. When do I come? He says, I don't know. I just did a couple runs and I'm about to chill with Angelo and Smash now. She says, Smash. And he said, I don't know. Well, just let me know. I want to come over ASAP. And he says, okay. She says, when should I be ready? He said, I don't know. I'm still chilling with Snish and Angelo. I might go hoop though. And she does a sideways face. Babe, are you going out to eat really late? He said, at 8 we are. She said, when do you want me to come? 7 or 7:30 or sooner? He says, probably 7:30. She said, damn, okay. I want to hang. Babe. And then she sends a blank text. And then she sends, I'm not going to be a bitch and say you can't go, but sometimes you should just know when it's the right or wrong thing to do. Like I waited all day to come over and leave in 10 minutes. And I don't know why you would say, I'll come back with you when you're going to change your mind in 5 seconds. ... Laughing my ass off, whatever, Tom. He says, I don't know, because I wouldn't have my car or anything. I should have just bailed, but then they'd be late as shit. Am I driving you tomorrow, or do you not have school? Babe? She says, hi, babe. He says, good morning, babe. So I guess she fell asleep. Morning. What are you doing? I just finished my Polaris for the day. He said, taking a shit. She said, nice. He says, yeah, it's pretty dope. She said, hey, you good, babe? You worry
me, babe. And then he said, why, babe? I'm home. She said, what you said on Snap, is everything okay? I'm in class. You guys, I have the Snap messages too. And then he says, oh, I don't know. For real? She said, want to hang after school, babe? Babe, I can walk over after school. And he said, I won't be home. I don't think. She says, well, I can just come and wait. Can I do that? Question mark, question mark. And then questions again. Well, I could just come. And he says, sure. She says, bet. Let me know when you're home. He said, okay. I don't know if Kyle is coming anymore. She said, what happened? He said, he's just going to chill with Kirsten because she has to go babysit later. And Mackenzie says, that's gay. I hate that. And then she says, just got the food. I'm coming back right now. I'm so hung. Wait, what? I'm so hung. And he said, how far? She said, like 20 or more. Oh, you guys, she's driving now. And then she says, traffic is gay right now. And he said, for real though? Meanwhile, she shouldn't be texting and driving. She said, yeah, it's annoying AF. And he said, Brawl Stars. And she said, right now? I'm driving. I'll play one game. Play again soon. And he said, how are you playing if you're driving? And she said, I will stop for a second. And he said, what? When you going to be here? And she said, I'm still in somethingville. Be there soon. He says, okay. She says, here. So you guys, she's driving already in her own car. This is bananas to me. I don't know. So it's 5 p.m. and she says here, and now she must have went home or hung out and then went home because now it's 8:30 in the morning and she says, morning, babe. He says, good morning, baby. I love you. She said, love you so much, babe. How did you sleep? He says, not bad. She says, what's your plan for today, my babe? Want to spray paint with me? What? Want to spray paint with me? I have gloved. What? And he said, got to get things done. She says, babe. And then he sends a picture. I'm going to have to look at that later. I don't know what that says. And then it's like an attachment of something that was written down. And then she says, okay, babe. Then she says, what about after all that? Or I can come with. And he said, I don't know. For real, let me think. And she said, okay, what are you doing? Babe. And he said, just busy. Family is still fighting. And she said, I'm sorry, babe. You want me to come with? And he says, right now I'm doing something. She said, how soon will you be home? He says, I'm on the way home, but I don't know if I can chill because all that's going on. She says, are you okay? You can come here, babe. What's happening, babe? And then emphasize, you could come here, babe. And he says, okay, I will if I need to. Thank you, baby. And she says, babe, you can just come whenever. I want you to be happy. Is everything okay? And he said, okay, for show. I love that I know that word now. She says, love you. And then he says, love you too, babe. And she says, Dom, all caps. Are you okay? All caps. I love you so much. You are my everything. I'ma find you. I'ma find you. What the heck? And then she sends something blank and says, I love you so much. Good night, babe. Sleep good, even though you won't see this. What? Oh, did he block her? And then at, oh gosh, that was on 10/9 at 10:15 p.m. Now it's 10:10 at 8:51 a.m. Morning, babe. Oh my gosh, you guys. Then she does it again. Oh, wait, you guys, look, 10:10 at 8:51. It says morning, babe. And then there's no text messages again until 10:14 at 7:40 a.m. Morning, babe. How's your sleep? How was your sleep? And he's pretty good. So he didn't talk to her for a few days. It was pretty nice as F. I'm in your big comfy bed, LOL. And he said, for real? And she said, what are you doing today? He says, I don't know. There's effing crumbs jammed in my phone. And she said, oh, what the F? What phone? And he said, the other one. It won't charge. I guess that's his rug phone. She said, what? You got to get one of those things that shoots air. I don't know what it's called, but it would help, babe. And he says, I don't know. It's charging now. I was mad as F, though. She says, well, I could still get one if you want. How'd you get it to charge? He said, pick it. She says, that's good. Want to hang, babe? He says, I'm going to hang with B and Jared for a little. We might go get food. We'll hang later. And she said, damn, I don't have school today. And he said, I thought you did. She said, no. And he said, I'll let you know I'm going to take a shower. She says, okay. You out? Oh my God, you guys, you can't even get a shower. He said, yeah, what's up? She said, did you decide? And he said, decide what? She said, if I can come over now or soon because I don't have school, babe. He says, I told you I'm going out to eat with Jared and B, right? She said, yeah, but then you said you thought I did have school. So I thought you would bring me, but never mind. He said, oh, nah, my bad. We can chill later. She said, oh, okay. What's up now? Oh my God, what time was that? So she says, oh, okay, 11:51 a.m. And then 1 hour later, so she gives him an hour. What's up now? Also, get that thing that we talked about yesterday, LOL. LOL, or don't reply. He says, oh, I got you. Sorry, driving for a while. She said, when can we hang? He said, I don't know, about to go to breakfast. She said, where? Okay. He says, Gourmet Deli. She says, K. Why not even really trying to text me and have convos? So I don't know. Thanks. He says, I've been driving. She says, ill? You didn't text me like all day or anything. Whatever, Dom. He says, I'm still driving. She said, you still don't care. I'm mad at you, by the way. We'll hang later, then ignore me all day. He says, bruh, today did not go as planned, okay? She had zero effort. He says, what do you mean? Here. And she says, okay, bet. And then, babe, can you drive me to school tomorrow? I forgot to ask. Please? He says, I don't know. I'm so tired. She said, never mind. And then the next day, so now we're at 10:15 at 9:30 in the morning. Good morning, babe. He says, good morning, babe. I love you. Love you, babe. What are you doing today? He says, it's a busy day. She says, want to hang when I get out of school? He said, when's that? She said, 2:30. He said, I don't know if I'll be ready to hang, but you can come by my house. She said, okay, bet. I'm about to be at school. Okay, he says. What are you doing? He says, at home. She says, I'm watching a movie. School. Oh, then she says, I can still come over, right? And he said, yeah. She said, okay, bet, yay. And then she must go over. And then the next morning, 7:30 a.m. on 10:16, morning, babe. He says, good morning, babe. What day we go to Aurora? We got to go return those jeans. She says, I don't know, babe. Check the receipt. And I'm down to go anytime. Want to hang today? I'm about to leave Polaris. He says, it's a busy day, bruh. I'll see what I can do. She says, let me come with. Babe, where are you at? Dom, oh my effing G. Answer right now with a bunch of question marks after that. OMG, are you okay? In all caps. And he said, I was showering, babe. She said, babe, there were cops at your house, so I was worried. And he said, really? Mine or my neighbors? Wait, you guys, how does she know that there's cops at the house? Like, isn't that weird? She said, 2 sheriffs? Oh, it was for Toph. It was for Toph. I talked to your mom and Toph already. They left. He says, do you know what it was about? She said, it was about Lana. She filed a protection order on Toph. He said, weirdo. She said, yeah, Lana's such a liar and a bitch. At first, I thought it was something about you. Also, guess what? He says, what's up? She said, haven't smoked all day.
Meanwhile, you guys, it's 11:30 in the morning. She's like, haven't smoked all day. I'm going to smoke now, though. He says, nice. And then he says, by the way, I'm not going to let you wear any of my good hoodies anymore if you bring them home every time. And she said, thanks. And then ... What a great way to continue the convo. I don't wear them home on purpose. And you know that, shake my head. He said, I know, but I never have my best hoodies because I let you use them. She says, I'll try to not do it anymore. He said, it's okay. Just bring my black one back when I see you. And she said, I will. Sorry, babe. He said, love you, babe. She says, love you, babe. Let me know when you want to hang. Oh my God, you guys. He says, okay. She says nothing. And then she says, babe, I want to hang. And he said, okay, we'll hang soon. She says, yay. Thanks for sharing. And he said he gave me the littlest dab because Kristen was mad about the rosin. So not that I know the recipe, but a dab is concentrated weed. So it's like, it's concentrated weed, and you put it in a rig, which is what he broke, and you smoke it with a torch. And every time I hear or see somebody doing it, it's like legal in New Jersey if you're over 21. And all I know is that every time someone does it, I love to sing. And I'm always like, oh my God, that would like kill someone's voice. Like you literally hear them choking. That's all I could think of. So all of you that smoke out there, you could laugh at me right now. And rosin, I believe, is the step up from live resin, which is a step up. Not a step up. It's just create it differently. And then she says, can we leave or something? So I'm the only one not getting a dab, right? Can we just leave? I'm mad. Good night, babe. Love you. He said, you, babe. She said, I just ate a spoonful of cinnamon. Ew, so nasty. Meanwhile, wasn't that a challenge? He said, laugh out loud. I know you never done the cinnamon challenge. She said, nope. Well, not until today. He said, LOL. She said, I almost puked. It was so bad. He said, LOL. That's what happens. She says, oh God, I had to sneak the cinnamon too. She had to sneak it. And then she sends bunch of pairs of sneakers. And then says, look, and he says, those are pretty dope. Wes wouldn't buy dabs just because he couldn't get them off me. I told him to go through Maddie. Oh my God, Maddie sells? Or Kyle. You guys, Maddie? Wow. He says, I told him to go through Maddie or Kyle, and he didn't. So just be mean to Wes whenever you see him. If he comes to your lunch table, just dog him. Oh my God. She said, oh God. Oh my God, you guys. She said, oh God. And then she says, that's so R word, L, laughing my ass off. Did he for real say he only wants them if you can do it? And he said, I don't know. He just said, never mind to Maddie and asked if he can just buy dabs off of me. Like, what a little bitch. You should just dog him when you see him. Oh my God. And then he says, get him where it hurts. She says, does he think it's Maddie Bowen? He says, I don't know. Let me check. She says, I'll dog him for you, babe. Want to have a sleepover? And he said, yeah, let me know. Oh, yeah. Wait. Yeah. Let me get some shit done on the early side. She said, okay, bet. Because I have a little schoolwork. He says, okay, bet. She says, let me know as soon as you're free, though. You want Charlie's from the mall? And he says, yes. She says, want me to come over after I get it? I'm there right now. I'm going to get some jeans, then get Charlie's. And what size? Dom? And he says, I'll be free a little after 2. Take your time. She said, so what do you want me to do? Because I'm at the mall right now. And it's 1:06. He says, what do you mean? She said, I'm with my mom. Should I just try to stay here for a while?
And he said, if you want. And she said, or do I get it and come? Because I don't want it to get cold. And he said, yeah, me either. Go get your jeans and keep me updated. I'm going to hurry. She said, okay, answer real quick, babe. He said, okay, babe. She said, I love you, babe. And he says, love you too, babe. So now we're at 10:17 at 1:25. She says, it's Sweetie's Day, babe. It's Sweetie's Day? What the frig is that? He said, what's that? Good, because I want to know too. He said, I'm going to be home soon. What time do you think you're leaving the mall? She said, I'm still looking for pants. And look it up, LOL. He said, okay. She said, tell me when you're home. Then I'll leave and come to you. He said, I'm about to be home. She said, oh, okay, bet. I'll leave soon. He says, are you going to be here soon? She said, no. He said, come back in here if you want. She said, where do you keep disappearing to? Question mark, question mark. He said, I went to the bathroom. Then my mom made subs. I'm just eating real quick. I'm sorry, babe. She said, why are you sorry, babe? He said, because I feel like you woke up in a bad mood because I'm gone. She said, no, I just want cuddles. Meanwhile, so she's sleeping over on school days. He said, oh, okay, I'll do that soon. I love you. She said, I love you, babe. Come scoot. He says, okay. And then she says, babe, call. And now we're at 10:19, 2020 at 6:56 a.m. Morning, babe. He says, good morning, babe. She said, something, babe. I mean, snap. Oh, there you go. I mean, snap. LOL. Morning, my baby. And he said, good morning, baby. Are you at school? She says, yes. I have actual school today, too. I have like 30 minutes to hang after Polaris. I'm texting you on my Apple Watch, but like if you want it, we could hang out for like 30 minutes. Then I could go to school and come back over. And he said, I don't know. I got to run a couple places. She says, well, you know, I leave Polaris at 10:50 and get home around 11:10. We could like smoke a quick joint or some shit. He says, I'm about to shower. If you want to come by real quick, you can. She says, I want to come over real quick. They go to school. You can drive me to school. Can I come or no, babe? Well, I'm a come. And he said, you can come if you want. You're going to have to wait till I'm ready to drive you, though. And she said, well, when will you be able to drive? And he said, I don't know. I'm in my room and my hair is dripping wet, babe. Also, should I shave my beard? I was going to, but now I'm thinking I'll keep it. She said, my mom can. Keep. He said, what? Keep it? I can return the jeans. I can't return the jeans. We missed it by 4 days. We went September 16th. She said, bruh, we can sell them or something online. My mom's good AF at selling shit. He said, right? Can you help me? It has tags and everything. Like I never even wore it. Straight bullshit. She says, yes, my mom can. Please take pics and shit. He said, for show. I want to laugh every time I read that now. For show, I almost should just wear them once. Oh, great. She said, yes, do it. Keep tags on though. Bruh. Megan is in all my classes now. Weird AF. He says gay. That is weird though. Now she can see you. Now she can see you cute. How cute you look all the time. She said, I love you, babe. He said, I love you too, babe. Babe. She said, we should get sushi today. A little date. Or you can pick wherever. A little surprise. And then he says, let me think what I have to do. Oh, gosh. And then he says, okay. It says, okay, can I link with B and Jared? Then we can go out to eat in a little. And she said, can I just come over? And he said, what's up? She said, and yay. He said, I'm not home. On my way to Jared's. She said, oh, okay. He said, I'll figure out some gas food, or if you didn't, you can come whenever. She said, bet. It would be a fun date surprise if you picked. And he said, okay, I'll try. And she says, what time will you be back around, babe? Babe. And he said, Jared, smoking. I'm about to drive home soon. She says, should I eat or should I just wait? And he said, eat a snack. Eat a light meal. She said, okay. So how long? And he says, I don't know exactly, babe. She says, okay, babe. Let me know when you're leaving. He says, okay, babe. I have three different places in mind too. You want to go eat in Lakewood or Westlake? She says, oh, surprise me, babe. He said, Westlake, right? Okay, never mind. I'll think of the right place. I'll check the menu. And then she says, I love you, babe. I'm in the mood for anything good right now too, LOL. He says, bet. About to be at your house. You ready? She says, yes. He says, bet. She says, where you at? He said, here. Love you. Love you too, babe. And then we are at 12:06 p.m. I'm going to wrap it up soon, but I'll do more. What are you doing? I see the little giveaway. LOL, he says. I have no meeting right now. She says, want to hang today? I'm hungry. He says, probably. Trough is going to Oakview. She says, oh God. How did that happen? He said they took him. She said, who? Is he okay? I want to leave school so bad because I'm so hungry. He says, did you not eat lunch? She said, line is always super long. I had a smoothie for breakfast though. He says, you need to bring lunch. She said, ugh. He said, maybe you can come over after Polaris and we can eat lunch real quick. And she said, up to, I'm definitely down. He says, if I get on a schedule, I'll be up and can drive you to school after. And she said, can we walk over after school? Or should I get food and come over? We can also just make food. He said, whatever you want to do, babe. She said, our breakfast sounds good. He said, if you have something in mind, we can. She says, did you eat breakfast? And can I walk over, babe? And he said, I ate granola cereal. I can eat again. Bacon would slap. She said, yes. Excuse me. She said, pancakes or waffles. But I'm going to come over, babe, okay? And then she questioned it. He said, okay, babe. She says, yay. Question mark, question mark. Where are you? Still in the bathroom? Question mark, question mark. And then I guess they hang out. So it's the next morning at 6:30 in the morning on 10/22. Morning, my little babe. And she says, baby. Oh my God. She says, so what the, I don't know. So she's asking what he's doing. And he says, I don't know, babe. I'm getting gas right now. She says, babe. Then he says, nothing. It's just sending blanks over here. She says, I'll be over soon. My blanket. He said, okay, babe. And then he said, I don't know if she should come just yet. One more to catch, I think. She says, what? And he said, to get the kittens. She said, it's a long ass drive. He said, is your mom coming to Jared's? And she said, and I have school tomorrow. She can, yeah. He said, okay, should she just come now? And she says, probably. Wait, why is the mom going to Jared's? He says, okay, bet. That's weird. And then Mackenzie says, she'll chill. She doesn't care. That's weird. He said, figure out where to put them because we need the cage back to get the last one. She said, so do we not have changes? Cages, she fixes it. He says, we almost have a cage ready and then we can go catch it. She said, my mom's about to be there. Be ready, okay? Come give me a hug and kissy, babe. And then emphasize, come give me a hug and kissy. Please keep me updated on the cat. Even if they catch the cat in the next hour, my mom will come back. Text me back, babe. I'm trying not to panic. I am home now. Text Jared that we can get the other cat whenever. My mom will come. He says, okay, bet. How are the cats? How are the cats you want? How are the cats you want to FaceTime? And she said, morning, babe. And then he says, good morning, babe. She says, how'd you sleep, babe? And he says, not, babe. Not bad, babe. She says, I'm about to go to school. I'm gonna love my fit. And then he says, send a pic, babe. And she says, I will soon. He says, when are you coming over? You want to go to Maya's with Kristen? Actually, I don't know when they going. You can just come over. She said, yes. I'm at my appointment now. I'm down now. And he said, you just got to your appointment? Just text me after. We'll see what's up. She says, yes, I want to go. He says, okay, bet. I'm not going. And she said, why? He said, I was just saying so me and Kyle can chill. She said, oh, you can do that. I'll go, babe, laughing my ass off. I misread it. Tell Kristen it just hurts so bad to get my nails off. He said, just see when you out. Let me let my dog out real quick. Give me 1 second, you guys. I apologize. Hold on, Ford. Okay, I'm back. All right. Meanwhile, I couldn't tell if there's even anybody still listening, but I am so into this that I'm listening to myself. So he says, just see when you're out. She says, where you at, babe? I'm done. He said, I'm at home. I think Kyle and Chris are arguing. She says, oh God. So what's happening? You still chilling with Kyle? He says, yeah, now we just chilling. She says, I feel like now look bad. This shit is for real terrible. And he says, oh my God, I didn't even see this, LOL. And then she puts a sad face. What's going on, babe? And he says, what's WYM again? Where, I don't know. And then he says, I'm just chilling. She says, with Kristen? She's upset. He said, what's up? Oh, I don't know why Kristen's upset for real. She said, I'm with them right now, LOL. We about to smoke. I miss you, babe. He says, I miss you, babe. Come sleep over. She said, oh, okay, I will. What time do you want me to come over? I'm on the way to Maya's now, but I'm planning on leaving around 10:30, 11. He said, I don't know. I don't care. I'm chilling right now. I'm kind of tired, though. What's Kyle doing? And she said, what is WIM again? I keep thinking, what are you doing? She said, I'm not with him. I'm come over at 10 probably. Did y'all drink? Babe, I'm coming over at 10:10. He said, okay. She questioned, did y'all drink? LOL, love you, babe. I'll see you soon. And he said, bet, babe. Well, I guess he didn't answer that. And then she sends word hunt and he sends it back. And then they play word hunt for a minute. Still playing word hunt. Oh gosh, they played for a while. Okay, if you're just listening and you're like doing something, we're still playing word hunt. I'm just scrolling. I don't see it anymore. They played word hunt for a minute. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, how long did they play word hunt? Okay, here we go. She says, morning, my babe. So this is 10:25 at 9:30 in the morning. He says, Good morning, babe. She said, how did you sleep? Want to come to my faint party again today? He said, not bad. And then, he sends a picture of weed. So he's holding a bud. And then he sends another attachment. I don't know what they're doing in that picture. Then he sends another picture of someone, looks like they're driving. And she says, babe, the party's at 2. Mama might be preg with other babies. Oh, I think she means a cat. He says, no way. She's already so small. And Mackenzie says, her stomach is huge, though. And it makes sounds. He said, oh, probably then. She said, are you coming to the party, babe? And he said, I don't know. I didn't shower yet. She said, I want you to. And he said, I'm taking another shit. I'll probably shower after. Oh my God, that's all he does. She writes, LOL, bet. Come over after. He said, okay, I'll probably do that. She says, bet. I'm excited. The baby black kitten loves me. He said, hell yeah. She says, they're feeding. Babe, what are you doing? He said, smoking with Angelo. That's his brother. She said, when you coming? He said, I don't know. I was going to shower soon. Do I have to be there soon? She says, 2. It's when it starts. You can come like 10 after. And he said, so be there at 2:10? And she said, sure. And he said, okay, I'm about to get in the shower. I'll try. How long do I have to be there? She says, oh my God, you guys. Wait, hold on. Let me let the dogs back in. I apologize. Oh, no. Okay, I'm back. Oh my God, you guys, this is so bad. Okay, I'm back. I don't know. Okay, I'm about to shower. Okay, bet. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Where you at? Question it again. Question, okay, I'm about to get the shower. I'll try. He said, I just got out of the shower. I'm about to brush my teeth. Get ready, then I'll be there. She said, okay, hurry, babe. Bring a mask. You don't have to wear it, though. He said, why, babe? She said, there's going to be like some random people there. Hurry. Don't pull in the driveway. He said, sorry, babe. Where do I park? She said, the street. Question mark, question mark, question mark. He said, what? I'm dressed now, about to brush my teeth and dip. She said, hurry, babe. So this is at 2:47. It started at 2. She said, LOL, you're really late, babe. He said, I know. I smoked a joint with Angelo, and then I just got sidetracked by every little thing. He said, that's why you can't smoke weed before school. She said, it's okay, babe. He said, because sometimes it's good, but sometimes you get literally nothing done. I'm looking for my keys, though. Then I'm on the way. She says, okay, bet. It's okay, babe. And then PPP. So then I guess he gets there at some point, but this is at 3:00. He still wasn't there. And then on 10:26 at 9:30 in the morning, she says, morning, babe. He says, morning, babe. She says, how do you sleep? Changing right now for theory. I'm at Polaris. He says, changing for what? I slept heavy at AF. She said, I'm going to my other class. He says, what should I wear? She said, this is my first normal week. I'm wearing all black. Wear black jeans and a cute shirt. He said, I thought last week was. She said, no, for Polaris. I'm going to Polaris every day now. He says, oh, wild. She says, it's gay. I hate going every day. I hate that she says it's gay. He says, yeah, I'll probably just put on some sweats and stuff because I don't feel like showering. She says, wear all black though, babe. He says, I did that yesterday. I'll see what I have. She says, who's at your house, babe? Green car. Oh my God, you guys, like that's psycho. She says, I'm at my interview now. Be right back, babe. He says, green, question mark. Sheen's here right now. And my dad and Chris is his brother. She says, oh, LOL. And he said, Sean was here. I don't know, really? And she said, I'm about to be there. He said, don't come yet. She said, where? My interview? I got the job. And he said, oh, I thought you meant to my house. That's dope. You got the job. And she said, do you like cashews or almonds better? Oh my God. And I'm going to come over after this. He said, cashews. She says, this it's expensive. On the way, on one, he says, bet. Thanks, Dom. I literally don't know what the F that even was. Like, please never tell me you're going to help me get if that, wait, like, please never tell me you're going to help me get if that, what the hell is going to be. Okay. And how you're going to be mad at me and take everything out on me. Like, why the F can no one help me? And you still hang up? I'm just not going to tell you I need someone to be there for me. I would never do that to you. I would never do what you just did to me to you. And he said, you're not me. She said, is that really what you just said? I, for real, cannot believe that. I'm done with this shit. And he says, oh, you're mine? Is that it? What do you mean? That's what it means. I figured it out. What you mean? Sorry, you guys. I couldn't sit on that any longer. That wasn't going good. You didn't let me try to help. But okay, be done. And she said, you're there for all your friends in caps, but never me. Like, did you not just see me struggling? You just didn't give an F at all. You still don't. He says, Kenzie, you were just trying to find an outfit, babe. I would sit on FaceTime more than 5 minutes if someone else was trying to have me do that. She said, you know how outfits mean, you know how much outfits mean to me though. Babe, I would sit on FaceTime with you for however long you want it. He says, I don't know what you mean. I'm there for all my friends. And she said, I don't care because I care about you. He says, I'm there for you every day. Babe, you're making no sense. And she says, yeah, but as soon as I finally have the balls to tell you I'm struggling, you don't want to help. And he said, it's an outfit. So she needs help in outfit. He said, for school. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you're not letting me help enough. You're not showing me anything. And she said, well, I get panic attacks when it's not perfect and stressed. Oh my God, you guys. He said, well, like, you're not showing me anything. She says, no one understands. He says, yeah, I feel like that way too. I feel like that what you're talking about. That's why I dress plain as F, low key. Like, unless I make up the outfit in my mind earlier, I dress black, white, and gray. Throw a little color in there. She said, I have no start. He said, maybe the trim is red or blue. And you know, that's a fact. She said, I've just been sitting here about to have a full out panic attack. He said, send me a pic. She said, of what? He said, of some pants, ones that appeal to how you're feeling or that you want to wear. Did you find a couple pairs you would be okay wearing? She says, I'm okay with wearing any pair. Yeah, I'm about to have a panic attack. My head is throbbing hard as F. I'm going to just fake sick or some shit. Like, I can't do this anymore. And he says, okay, take a hit of weed to calm down real quick and send me some videos of pants. She said, I have no shirt. And that weed doesn't get me high. Like, I have no shirt. I have no pants picked because I don't know. And he said, Kenzie, your pants are going to be the start. She said, I don't even have a color. He said, just send me a picture of pants. That's what I'm trying to do. She said, jeans or sweats. He says, it's a start. Let me check the weather. She said, I'm freaking panicking right now. I feel so terrible. He said, let's go, not jeans. And she said, so sweats. He says, send me sweats and shit like that. She said, I look really bad in sweats, but I'll try. And he said, you got to have more pants than that. You have all types of pants. So then she sends an attachment. Oh, I wish I could see that better. I'm like trying to see but she sends an attachment. Then she says, I have legging pants and jeans, and I'm not wearing leggings. And he said, let me see the jeans. I swear you have more pants than that. So then she's sending more attachments. Oh, then she's sending pictures of her closet. I don't think she didn't write anything there. And then she said, I just have the urge to hit the I just have the urge to hit the fuck out my head. I'm not going to, but that's how my anxiety is making me feel right now. Oh my God. Okay, I think she's threatening to take herself out. And then she does a bunch of question marks. Wear the gray jeans with lots of buttons. She said, of course, I finally find pants I want to wear, and there's a stain. Oh my God, I'm about to freak out. And he said, if you ain't wearing that gray sweatpants outfit. She said, what gray sweatpants outfit? He said, where's the gray jeans like those? The ones you sent me on Snap. She says, those are leggings. He said, I don't know. I didn't know for real. For real. Wear gray jeans then. She says, you don't know what? And he said that they were leggings. And she said, what do I wear with the gray jeans? I feel like they look dumb. I can't do this. And he said, I like gray jeans on you. And she says, I'm freaking out. And he said, you can wear like anything with them. She said, like literally tweaking. They make my body look weird. Oh, Sarah. I don't know. She's a little much with the way her body looks, you guys. I don't know. He says the ones that go over your waist, the high-waisted. And she said, the really long ones were the ones you got me. And now my hand hurts bad AF. And he said, why? Look, they just don't go to school. I really can't do this anymore. It's been an hour and a half. And she said, thanks, Dom. And he said, wear the ones I got you with the red, white, gray, black stripe and the retro 5s or your black Ugg slides. Oh my God, you guys. Wow. So for an hour and a half, she's been having an anxiety attack about her outfit. And I have to be honest for once, like with him, he's being very, very patient with her. However, he's starting to lose his cool. He's like, all right, I had enough. It's been an hour and a half. So she says, that's such good advice to give your babe that's failing almost all of her classes. Babe, I've tried on that outfit like 20 times. He said, if you don't like that, I don't know. I laid it all out for you. She said, look at Snap. The jeans make my body look weird. And he said, okay, well then maybe if you focus more on your schoolwork, not what outfits to wear, you would get better grades. And she said, I have other gray jeans. I'm done. And he said, I knew you were going to think that's mean, but no, for real, like, come on, wear some jeans and sweatpants, like, stop losing sleep over this. She said, yeah, I don't know why the F you would ever say that. You must be high or something. And he says, okay. She said, and if I want to be there, and if you wanted to be there for me, you would. And you would have kept texting me. Oh my gosh. Like, you can't even apologize or stay on the message, like, for real. This is effed. He says, I apologize for what? She said, do you not care or something? Because this is so not cool. And he said, what isn't? She emphasized, I have other gray jeans. Are you for real? You don't think anything you said was rude as shit? And he said, I mean, Ken's, you've been trying to find an outfit for 2 hours now. That's not worth the time, babe. She says, maybe because I'm stressed the F out and no one helps me make it 20 times worse. Now I'm going to not get 5 effing hours of sleep. He said, there's going to be times when there's no babe, you'll be on your own. At least you just have to make an outfit on your own. Kenzie, you can go to sleep right now if you wanted to. And she said, I'm trying to. I've been in bed. He said, my leg is effed. I don't know what to do. Oh my God, now it's him. I'm about to just chill. Now, for real, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night, babe. I love you. And she said, I'm not having a good morning. So now it's the next morning at 7:44 a.m. I'm not having a good morning, okay? What's up now? I love you, babe. And she says, just leaving Polaris now. We can hang before school if you want. You just need to let me know right now. And he said, if you want, yeah. She said, do you want me to? Yes or no? Okay. ... He said, yeah. I was shitting and washing my hands. She said, okay, I'm gonna come. Will you drive me to school at 11:40? He says, be there by then or leave then because it's all, oh wait, what just happened? Will you drive me to school at 11:40? That was at 11:17 and then at 11:43. So I guess like she gets there. He says, be there by then or leave because it's already 11:20, babe. Do you know if I can come visit? I want to sit and eat lunch with you, babe. She said, I don't know yet. The lady who is nice AF wasn't here, but I'll ask the next time I see a principal or staff. I love you, babe. And he says, okay, just ask tomorrow. We will see. We will still have all year. She said, I hope they let us. He said, for real, for real. She said, we'll play a game. He says, yes, babe. And then start sending attachments. And then also, my class is about to end. Can I come over, babe? And then emphasized, my class is about to end. Can I come over? It's ending in 32. Okay, I'm going to just come. Coming soon. And he said, bet, babe. How did it go? And she said, boring. He said, did they touch your vagina? Oh my God. When I got one, they touched my pee-pee. Wait, what are they talking about? Hold on, back up. What? So this is at 7 o'clock at night. Did they touch your JJ? Asked him. And he said, when I got one, they touched my pee-pee. I don't know what they're talking about. Wow. And then she says, still want pull? And no. And he said, yes, bet. Morning, babe. Now it's 10:28 at 7. I'm trying to get till November 1st. I have a like a new place to start. And that's a good day because that's a day I got engaged, I think. I have the best memory, you guys. I got engaged on November 1st, 2004? Yeah, no, not 2004, 2003. 03. There you go. November 1st of 03, I got engaged. How about that? So then she says, love you. And he, love you, babe. And she says, hi. He says, what's up, babe? I'm about to shower real quick. She said, my tummy hurts. He said, are you sick? She said, I don't know. I don't think so. And I'm going to come over soon. He says, okay. She says, yay. Good morning, my little baby. I'm so sad. He says, why, babe? Good morning, baby. I love you. And she says, Faith, I just stopped doing my hair midway. And I'm just like, ETF? He said, so what? She said, I couldn't do the curls. So I told the teacher because I had picture day. And this other girl just did it for me. I don't know. And my nail broke. Oh my God. On picture day, that sucks. She says, rough day. And he said, LOL. At least your hair is done. And she said, who's at your house? Oh my God, you guys. She sees a car again. She says, something car. She's like stalking him. He said, what kind? I'm not home. And she said, just white. I don't know, laughing my ass off. He said, oh, probably Sammy picking up Angelo. And she said, ew, LOL. Angelo's his brother. He said, right. And she says, you good? He said, what? She said, I heard sirens. Oh my God, you guys, she's crazy. I'm sorry. Not crazy. I don't mean like that when I say that. I mean like, this is like a bit much. What do you mean I hear sirens? Help. He says, LOL. She says, are you home? And he said, I'm in the ambulance. I'm dying. What? She said, stop. Don't even joke. I'm free. I'm for real. Don't. I'm already about to panic. And he said, they shot me like Tupac. What? Dom, I'm about to be mad. And then he says, LOL, I didn't get shot. And she said, never mind. It's at the school. Oh, the sirens were at the school. He said, of course I'm joking. If I got shot, I probably wouldn't be texting you. And she said, don't do that shit to me. Want to hang? Oh my God, you guys. Or are you busy? And he said, not sure. She said, I'm about to be out of school soon, babe. He says, okay, babe. She says, let me know soon, babe. And then she sends an attachment of a text message, which I would love to read. She said, want me to just go home? Then I can come when you tell me or something. And he said, yeah, that works. Troph is so fired. And she says, laughing my ass off. It's funny. He called me first. And then sends another attachment. I'm going to have to see what that says. And then she says, what are you doing, babe? And he said, chilling with Blair. He's setting up my TV. And she said, oh, that's cool. Want to hang soon after Blair leaves, babe? And he says, yeah, we can do that. She says, what one? Question mark, question mark. Dom. Nice. Why are you being so ass? Reply. And he says, sorry, we was smoking and shit. And she said, for 2 hours? And he said, what's up? She said, well, I wanted to hang, but I don't know. I knew you were going to forget about me and leave me hanging. Okay. He said, we can hang tomorrow. I'm stopping at Kyle's. Oh, he puts last name at Kyle McCarthy's real quick. She says, of course you are. Yeah, I'm just going to sleep. I'm just going to sleep. If since you don't want to hang, like you said, you wanted to. He said, I'm only going to be here for a second. And she said, Kay. And then she says, still? You said after Blair leaves, I can come. And you obviously didn't care enough to tell me he left. And he said he didn't leave. Oh my God, you guys, how does she think he left? Like, this is weird. And she said, so what's happening? You're going to hang with Blair all day? Because I'm not about to just keep waiting for nothing. Okay. You guys, spoiler alert. Yes, she will. He says, not sure. She says, of course you're not sure. Like, don't tell me we can hang if you're going to do this. Because, like, I wait for you, then I end up doing nothing till you tell me we can't hang. Like, you say soon, then you say you don't know. Then you take forever to reply. And he said, I'm sorry, babe. Give me a little, then I can come chill. She says, sorry? Okay. He said, don't get mad when I say I love you. And you say, love you. It doesn't matter, babe. And she said, babe, if you wanted to put the effort to say sorry, to show me you actually mean it, you know what? I'm just going to bed. Thanks, Dom. Zero effort. He said, okay, I'll talk to you later, babe. Maybe we can chill. She said, a bunch of zeros. Effort. Oh, she's pissed. Like, when are you going to start trying? This shit is so disappointing. If you wanted to try to fix this, you would reply fast or tell me to stay up. Like, sometimes you're annoying AF with Blair. Okay, I'm done. And he said, literally, I said we can hang tonight. She said, you have zero respect for me. He said, we have hung every day for the last months. You're fried. If anything, you don't respect me. She says in caps, okay, then tell me you don't want me to hang. Like, I literally don't give an F. Yes, she does. It's only when you tell me we can hang that you do this. And you want to know how I know you have zero respect? You get mad instead of taking the time to be mature and have a conversation with me, which I should have known you were going to do. And he said, because I'm trying to do something, but okay, you're overreacting, babe. She said, it's just annoying, babe. He said, we can still hang tonight. She said, when? Okay. He said, I don't know. I'll be home soon. No wonder why they don't take each other seriously. She says, what even are you? I think she meant, where even are you? How soon? He said, 20 minutes. She said, I swear, when are you going to stop doing this shady shit? And he said, how? How am I being shady? She said, the shady thing is that you could have brought me and you chose not to. Like, you know what type of shit gives me anxiety and you still do it. Like, and of course, it's to some bitch in Parma. He said, it's literally, oh my God, that's not nice. That wasn't nice at all. He's saying that it's a big girl, like that he won't be interested in. He said, that has a boyfriend. Like, Blair was with me, babe. I just want to do it real quick. She said, Kay, still sauce. You still could have brought me. You're disrespectful as F. This is how you want to be? Okay, cool. The fact that you can't even open the text, like, you're on something. Okay, I'm for real done. He said, I was rolling a blunt real quick. She said, of course you are. You are for real so rude in caps. Of course you don't even offer me to come over. Like, I'm really about to be done with this shit. You can't even reply. Okay, I'm for real done. F Blair. F everyone. You're only nice to me when you want to be. Kenzie, we'll talk about this later. I think you're seeing it wrong. No, she says. He said, okay then. She says, zero effort. If you ditch me, though, we will have issues. Like, I can't believe you can just talk to me like that. He says, don't be like this, or I'm for real be mad. Like, we won't do Halloween shit. She said, oh, so you're going to turn my issue into a whole new issue. Stop trying to make a different issue to put mine down. He said, like, when you stop trying to fight with me, we can hang. She said, Dom, you're the one being rude. He said, I'm sorry I didn't answer the phone, but I was doing things. And she said, like, I was supposed to be over. And you just don't HMU have my, I don't know. And then he says, yeah, but you want to fight. And she said, or tell me when you're home because you won't let me over. Oh my God, you guys, you're making me wait. Me. And he said, you would have been over. I was checking out weed though. She said, you're literally being mean. He said, so I was waiting. She says, the only reason I'm mad is because you're not letting me come over. If you don't want me, then stop making me wait. And then 1,000 question marks. And she's mad because she's mixing up the question marks with the exclamation point. So she's pissed. Oh my God. This is on 10/29 at 7:59. Hopefully, I was like, we'll go till the end of the month because I'm thinking it'll be almost done, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. This is long. She says, I'm for real about to freak the F out. He said, okay, come over then. But don't just be mean to me the whole time. She said, then be extra loving and not mean. And he said, I'll be nice, but you be nice. She said, and I'll have no reason. OMG, I'm coming. You better not be mean or make me cry. And he said, I'm not. I don't want to be mean. I don't think I was really being mean at all. She said, well, you were. Hey, babe. Oh my God. Hey, you guys, now it's, oh my God. Hey, babe. And then he writes, I love you, babe. This is all right. So now it's 6:30 in the morning. So this is the first time, you guys, in the last two that, like the last two or the only two lives I've done of this, that he's like texting her in the morning. He says, love you, babe. She says, love you, babe. Why are you up? And he said, I don't know. I just woke up. Probably because I slept right when you left. And she said, oh, true. I woke up 5 a.m. He said, nice. She said, to someone's alarm. I was mad AF. He said, oh, not nice. You should have came and cuddled. That means she slept at his house. She said, yes, I should have just came. I'm excited to sleep over on Halloween. He said, that'll be fun. She says, it's going to be so fun. He said, I wish you were here right now. She said, I wish I could be too, babe. So I guess she's not there. He said, I'm tired. I think I'm about to sleep a little more. She said, you should try.
And then she sends like 2 blank texts or something. He says, okay, love you, babe. Text me in a little. She said, I will. Love you too, babe. And that was at 10:30. So we're getting closer at 7 a.m. So then she writes, hey, babe, at 9:52 a.m. So what, 2 hours later? Or no, 3 hours later almost. So she writes, hey, babe. He writes, what's up, babe? What should I wear today? She said, I seen you, babe. Oh my God. And wear black jeans. See, she saw him again. He said, I'm wearing all gray. And yeah, I seen you too. And she said, you're so cute. I'm coming over after school. We carving pumpkins. He said, Okie. She said, what are you doing? This is at 11:50. He said, at Jardy's or Jared's. I don't know why I just said that. She said, babe, you don't have a costume or outfit for the gangster costume. And he says, I know. Where do I get one? She said, Goodwill or the mall. I can still come over after school, right? Want pulp? And he said, yeah. She said, okay, 1 or 2. And what place you going to get your costume? And he says, 2. She said, go there like soon, or we can go together. And he said, okay, bet. She says, I'm coming over. This is at 10:30 still, at 2:45 p.m. She says, are you home? He said, yes. She says, I want to leave. So now we're at 10:30 at 10:11 p.m. She says, I want to leave. And then nothing happens. But then she says, morning, babe. So now we're at 10:31. So we're on our last day for the live. And she says, morning, babe, at 9:22. Happy Halloween, babe. And he says, good morning, babe. She says, I'm excited. He said, I'm still kind of tired. She said, did you stay up late, babe? Should I curl my hair or leave it? Babe, are you for real still sleeping? Okay, Dom. And he said, no, I'm talking to Bradbury. My bad. And she said, so you're just not going to answer? You just have your phone in your pocket and you're not answering my text for like 2 hours? What are you doing? And he said, at the gas station, about to fill up. She said, I'm trying to sleep. What? Again, when is the party? And he said, why? What? She said, I also want to trick or treat. Oh my God. So I'm not sleepy tonight. So she's taking a nap, so she's not sleepy tonight. He says, you won't be, LOL. Oh, I wonder why. I wonder what they're going to be taking that he said you won't be. And then says, and I'm going to ask Thomas the details. I don't know if we're going to have time to trick or treat. She said, only even 2 houses. I just want to go for a little. When you want to hang also? And he said, it's cold AF though. He said, I don't know. Right now I'm waiting to smoke with Smesh real quick and get a bottle. She said, oh, I forgot about the bottle too. And after that, you want to hang? And he said, yeah, what should I get? She said, anything you want, babe. I'm cool with anything you like. And he said, okay, babe. Babe, I'm not ghetto. Wait, what? She said, who said you're ghetto, babe? And he said it was a joke. She said, I was confused, laughing my ass off. But yes, babe, just let me know what's going on and I'll answer fast. I still don't know what lashes to wear. He said, send me some pics. I'll try to help. She said, I will on Snap. Hey, people at your house? Oh my God, so she's looking at his house again. Then she says, just seen you pull in. So like, what is she like watching? And then she says, I think, LOL. And he said, my mom probably. Sheen and Ash and Ashish here. She says, LOL. Wait, what did that say? He said, Sheen and Ashish here? She laughs and says, I'm getting Doc right now. Dick. Oh, Dicks. What's that? Docs. Okay, so she went from she's getting, that was funny. She's getting Doc right now to Dicks right now to Docs right now. So I think in documents. Or no, the shoes, maybe Doc Martens. So the shoes. He said, Knife? And she said, when can I come? He said, I'm not home right yet. I'm not home right now. Getting the bottle for real. She said, I still have to do my makeup and shit. Just got home from getting the shoes. He said, okay, bet. She said, when are you free? And trick-or-treating starts at 6. He said, my dude will hopefully be here before then. She said, I hope. I really want to go. And he said, hey, babe, it's cold for my costume, though. And she said, hell, you can literally wear clothes. Hell, you can literally wear clothes under. And he said, I guess. She says, babe, I said I really wanted to go. And he said, okay, we can go for a little. She says, can I come over now? He says, why you got to fight right before TJ's party? She said, I'm not mad, babe. I'm just annoyed. My sister's being loud AF with her friends. I've been trying to leave for like 4 hours, babe. And he says, I'm sorry, babe. I just want to let my homie slide real quick so I can be free later. She says, he's just taking so long. And trick-or-treating started. Oh my God, guys, it's 6. All my costume shit is at your house too. I have my costume on. I really will. And he said, okay, so plans changed. You can come soon and we can go to a few houses. And she said, let me know as soon as I can. I really want to go. And he said, okay, babe, just come over. And she said, on the way, babe. He said, phone died. All right, now we're getting to morning, babe, on 11/2. So I guess they spent the last day or so together. I'm going to go over to StreamYard because I've been on here forever. When did I start? At 9 something? Oh, hi, Cuff You. And I have one starred thing. So this is Sarah. Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah. She was giving me the thing. That was a long time ago. How did I survive before? I didn't. Duh. She would wear my ass out of her wardrobe with her anxiety. Stop. I can't. Right? Oh my God, Cuff You, right? My son just walked by and said, Mom, why do you look so confused? That's a riot. Wait, hold on. Let me stop this way and I'll put my camera on. There we go. Okay. Oh, wait. And I guess I could put myself back in the middle. There we go. Okay. So let me see what some of you were saying. I'm not going to read all of them. I'll read them after. But yep, she was underage when it started. He knows that. She was 15 and he was 18. I cannot believe she knows what the word mature means. That's funny. So he has to appease her. I think she had anxiety when she rammed that car into the frigging building, right? If only he had ditched her, seriously. No, he's looking for real reasons to ditch you so you can go party with his buddies for Halloween. Dingbat. That's so funny. She can't read him at all. She's way too focused on what she wants. I'm so glad that you said that, Truth, because that is exactly right. Earlier, I don't know if Oloka Squirrel's still on here, but Oloka Squirrel, we were like texting for a minute. I think you are Oloka Squirrel. And she said about like she saw narcissism. So do I. I definitely do. Cuff You loves Dom. I love that. Dude spends 100% of his time trying to get out from under her ass. Huh. That's so funny. Oh, look, this girl's half asleep. I feel bad. You guys, meanwhile, I have to be up so early. Oh, Harlot, you're here. Rachel, oh my God, you guys. Thank you so much for coming to support. I really did this with no intentions. Barbara, hi, of anyone showing up. Hi, Rachel. Oh my God, you guys. I feel so blessed right now. I like want to cry. Who else is here? This is amazing. Wow. Thank you guys. I feel so blessed. You have no idea. I can't believe there's anybody here still. So anyway, you guys, I am like addicted to reading these. Not addicted. You guys know what I mean. Like I want to know what happens next. I almost feel like I'm reading a book. You know, like when you read a book and you're like, you can't wait to like, you're like, all right, I got to go to bed, but I can't wait till I come back to read this tomorrow. Well, that's where I'm at, which is why I went live for the first time ever. So Mackenzie Shrilla had that effect on me. I went live for the first time. I think this was the first time I ever did 2 lives in one day. And it was literally, my husband was laughing at me. I literally was like, I think I need to go live again. He was like, what? And he knows that I just got all this stuff. And he's like, you really have the fear of missing out.
I was like, yeah, I have FOMO. You know, I do. So I definitely had to come back on. But I can't wait to do this again. I'm trying to think. Yeah, we all need therapy now. You're absolutely right. I know. Oh, look, a scroll. I'm supposed to be asleep like 4 hours ago. I'm so stressed about the clothes, right? Wait, you guys, that was ridiculous. And he even calls her out in a straight, like, Mackenzie, this is about clothes, like, relax. And she just can't relax. She's like, I'm freaking out right now. I'm freaking out. Oh, you guys, what about me learning my new word? What is it again? For show? For show. My daughter taught me that today. If you were here live earlier with me, I couldn't figure out some of these like little acronyms. They wouldn't even be acronyms. I don't even know what they are. And I was like spelling them to my daughter, like be right back is BRB, like that stuff. So I would like yell it out to her and I'm like, Ava, and I spelled out for show. And she was like, Mom, that's for show. I'm like, I'm never going to be able to say that again without thinking of her now. So Harlot says, I wonder if they text this much for the next 2 years, all the way up to the crash. They do. So since you asked, we right now are on 11,354, and there's 31,697 pages. How about that? And you guys, we started today at like, I don't know, we were in like the 800s or 900s. So I still have to eventually go back to the beginning. This is the thing. I know, right? Oh my God, Rachel, we're going to be here like a lot. Oh, Lucas Squirrel says, when she is really bad anxiety, he pays attention to her, so she magically has attacks when he ignores her, so he'll pay attention. 1,000%. Earlier, I gave like an analogy, and I didn't love my analogies, but I couldn't think of a different one at the time. But I say to people, like, think of relationships like dogs. When you walk towards them, they walk away. When you walk away, they follow. And I feel like that's what's happening here. I feel like every time she walks away, he follows. Because every time she doesn't answer him, and it's very rare, but the few times she didn't answer him right away, he does start to freak out. But her biggest problem with him is that he doesn't answer quick enough. Could you imagine dating somebody that said that you didn't answer quick enough? He's literally like, Mackenzie, I'm wiping my ass. Like, relax. She's literally like, you're not being quick enough. You're not quick enough. Are we going over Gypsy Rose Blanchard prison emails? There's so many like this. There is, Rachel. Do you know how I can get them? Because it took me a minute, but like last night, I was like, you're going to find these, because I hear other creators reading them, and I want to be able to like go to the part that I want to go to and read that. And I also want to share them with you guys. Like, this is what I like to do. I feel like we built like a family here, and I want to read them for you guys. So I did a lot of research and got these. I got everything. I should show you guys real quick what I got. I don't even know. Oh my God. I don't even know if I could show you my whole thing. Let me see. I'm going to try. Share screen. Let me see. Entire screen. This is very, very crazy of me. So I'm sharing my whole screen, which a lot of people would never do. But look at all these files. Wait, ready for this? Hold on, let me go to it. Oh my God, I have so many of them open. Okay, so we have just Mackenzie Shirley. So she has her own separate, thing completely. And like, it's 20 gigs. It's almost 21 gigs of hard drives. Okay, that's crazy. Wait, let me see where is it at? Let me see. It's not under documents. Where did I save it? Is it under downloads? So we have the text messages. There's more. You guys, I deleted most of my computer because I wanted to download this stuff. So now I have no idea what's happening because I don't know where most of my stuff is. How about that? I can't believe I just admitted that out loud. I literally went to my Windows. I had 0 gigs left. Now I have 55 of 117 because I straight went in and just deleted everything. Look, I guess I deleted all of my photos, but that's okay because I have them saved like somewhere else. So that should be fine. But where are Where is my thing from today? I'm going to show you guys all the stuff that I have. It's amazing. Why don't I just start Xing some of these out? And if anybody doesn't want to stay and you want to leave, I do thank you for coming tonight. It is late. So this is, I guess, for anyone extra that is just chilling or whatever and is like, I got an extra minute if you want to say it. Please stay on. And if not, have a great night. And thank you so much for coming. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. All right, now how do I get to, watch this, files. I don't know why I'm like, I think because I'm just tired. Okay, here we go. I think I found it. So we have text messages. We have, well, that's not what I was really looking for though. How about I just look up true crime, because I think it's under my true crime. Like literally I deleted all of my folders, which is why I can't find anything. At least I have my PowerPoint slides for tomorrow that I don't really need. I could have deleted these and didn't. I deleted probably things that were important. So let's do Mackenzie, or let's just do Sharilla. No, where is everything? Oh my God, you guys, I don't even see, to be honest with you. I have a D drive, and I don't know where the hell it is. I don't know what I did. Oh, no. All right, let's try this real quick. No, you guys, I think I deleted everything. Like, including my external hard drive. I don't even know where the hell that's at. Okay, so let's see what you guys are writing. So for, oh, wait, real quick. When I meant to ask you, Cuffio, when you said a hard no, did you mean to Gypsy? Oh, yeah, Gypsy and Nick's texts have been out. They're bad. They were all into BDSM too. Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know if I could read that one. Although I am reading about pop, but I feel like it's different here only because, and I guess with Gypsy, I could make the argument as well. But I feel like I want to look at some of them first because you guys have to remember I'm a professor, like starting tomorrow to Thursday night. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I do my, other thing. So I have to be careful there. And I don't know how much BDSM I want to talk about. As far as like pot and rugs and stuff, I feel like I teach this. So like I literally, one of my classes, well, two of my classes tomorrow are developmental psychology. So we go into rugs and different age groups and adulthood. So I feel like I could fit this case in and everything that it entails as a result of that. You guys, I have no idea why my external hard drive is not coming on. I don't know. Hopefully when I get off, you have no idea how long it took me to down. I mean, I'm sure you guys do know. I don't really mean that when I say that. I don't really mean you. But it took me forever to download all this. And I just have no idea where any of my stuff is. How funny is that? I mean, it's not very funny, but you know what I mean. Let me see. Oh my God, you guys, where is it all? Anyway, there's, oh wait, Shrilla and Russo argument. Download history. Maybe this will help. Can you guys still see my screen? Because I think I just found what I was looking for. Oh my God, you guys. I think I deleted it all. Wait till you guys see this. Oh my God. Oh my God. It took me all day. Oh my God, guys. It took me all day to download this, and I think I deleted it all of it. Let me show you. Look at my download history. Look, delete it, delete it, delete it. Oh no, copied to clipboard. Oh no, what did I do? So I didn't delete the text messages, and of course I downloaded it twice, go figure. Okay, let me see if I have this up. I cannot believe I deleted everything. I don't know. I hope I didn't delete my hard drive. If I did, that'll be really bad. It's all right. If I did, it happens, but let's just hope I didn't. Hopefully the next time you guys talk to me, I tell you that I got everything back, because right now it's not looking good. It says that I downloaded 5 things, and I downloaded way more than that, and 3 of the 5 things are my thumbnails, and 2 of them are the same thing. So I don't know what I did. But I also don't see my external hard drive. Wouldn't it be there? Oh, no. I don't know. I'll figure everything out. Hopefully it's still all saved on my hard drive. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Ooh, something just happened. I plugged it and plugged it back in. I don't even know if anybody's still there, you guys. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. I think my external hard drive just wasn't working. Oh, no. Where did it go? It was just there. Did you guys see it? What happened? No, I don't know what's happening, but I did just see it for a second. Okay, now I'm going to pay attention and then I'll hang up, even if this goes off. My external hard drive has like a terabyte. Oh, wait, there it goes. Did you see it? This is it. How do I keep you open? This is it. This is what I want. So right here, hopefully I could get to it still. True crime. Here it goes. Oh my God. Thank God. Hold on. We might still be in business, you guys. I'm going to reshare my screen. I think I found it. Again, don't know if anyone's here, but if you're watching, oh my God, I just had a heart attack, but I think I found it. So where is it? Let me see. If I share my window, oh, here we go. Share. I found it. I almost had a heart attack, you guys. So I have my true crime, right? That's true crime other. Oh, here we go. All right, look at this. Mackenzie's. So we have this. Let me make this bigger. No, actually, I can. There you go. All right, so we have this. I have phone calls. So I have an entire zip file just of phone calls. I don't even know what they are because I haven't even been able to look through this. It's literally 21 terabytes of stuff. Let me see. Let's see if there's anything quick that I could play to get a little. This one looks like it's small. Chief Weaver. Let's see what this is real quick. Text me if you can't hear it when it goes on. I think you should be able to, though. I have you up.
Sounds a police detective, hello.
Hi, Detective Chief Weaver again.
Hey, Chief, how you doing?
Not bad. So, just had a conversation with Landon. That was a very interesting conversation, I must say.
All right, great.
Yeah, he is not willing to talk.
Okay.
He says that he is not being threatened, and in his words, I'm at the top of the chain. Nobody messes with me. I'll just kick their ass.
Okay.
I never heard this.
Seems very. This is just my intuition or whatever. Whatever this is, he's involved.
Yeah, we have him on recording text messages. You know.
Yeah, he tried to say something about his best buddies were killed in a car accident, but he was in the other room when whatever went down. Of course, he didn't go into great detail, but
Right.
FYI, in case you want to know, he is trying to get home tomorrow.
Okay.
Trying to attend his high school football game.
Okay.
And if he's not able to, he's going to be at John Terrell University playing in our football game at 1:30. So if you want to try to round him up or
No, at this point, we're not gonna ruffle any feathers. Let him do his thing. He doesn't want to cooperate. That's fine. He's going to get a grand jury subpoena from the county prosecutor. At that point, we're gonna, with your guys' help, if he fails to comply with it, he will be, arrested for contempt of court. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I do appreciate all the help, Chief.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, there you go. So that was one of them. So I have, just so that you guys see, I have a ton of other stuff. Let me go back to that file. That was the phone calls. There's a whole Dominic Russo file. In his file, we have, just so that I can show you guys what we're looking at. Oh, I don't know what this says. Hold on. Let's see what this picture says. It's important. It says July 21st, 2022. So that was what, 10 days before the crash. It says, I don't see anything. It just says details, but it looks like the phone's smashed. This one, same thing. It's just giving details. Maybe it's like giving like his location of some sort, or like proof of whatever's on the phone. But Dominic Russo has a ton of thing in his. I'm like clicking all over the place. Okay, let's see. So I have a ton of photos. There is 20 gigabytes, you guys, of photos. That's a lot. So that's like a ton. And then Mackenzie has her own file, which it's just bananas. I'm trying to find, she has like her whole like Snapchat, all of the things. Wait, hold on, let me see if I go to this one. You guys, wait till you say it's crazy if you're still here. I don't know why it's not letting me stay on that. I think I'm just tired and I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. I can't believe I deleted my download history, but that's okay. And wait, maybe if I close this out. I think the computer that could is getting tired because it's like not reacting to anything anymore. It's like, all right, it's enough. You played with me enough today. Time to go to bed. Come here, Thor. Don't do that. See, it won't let me keep it open. Maybe if I stop sharing. I don't even know if anybody's here, like I said. I'm just babbling at this point, like Huff, you said. Okay, that's what's happening right now. Why is there an X? I don't know what I did, you guys. I might have just... You guys, am I still here? Can you see me? I was doing the most and I went to go X out so that I could be on the screen again, and I accidentally. So that one I can't even blame on the computer. That was straight me. I literally hit leave studio. I was like, oh, how about I don't do that? Hi, Wicket. Wicket, I haven't seen you guys. If you're here and you're not subscribed, or if you didn't like, can you please do me that favor? I'm a very, very, very small content creator, and this stuff is like cool that we're all hanging out, but a lot of my videos I try really hard to add like education and stuff so that people, you know, oh, cuff you, stop it. Cuff you. I just saw that Donna Adelson called Harvey 175 times in 39 hours from prison. What? Wait, I didn't even know that you could use the phone that many times. I think now with like the iPad, it's like unlimited, right? Wow. Cuff you. I thank you. You have no idea. Ever since, you guys, if you weren't here before, my YouTube got demonetized for like a couple of days. And well, no, it was for more than a couple of days. But I was so excited to get it back on that I didn't realize how much it already affected me. So I got it back, and I didn't, hi, Wicket, I didn't win my appeal. I lost my appeal. But then I was hysterical. Truth and Sarah can tell you, because they both were like, oh, you just like, because I was like, I was up all night. I was explaining my story. I like asked for higher ups. Like I was all kinds of like in my feels over this. And both of them, without knowing what the other one said to me, wait, so you sat up all night and like fought with a bot? So I went from like here down, like if this is baseline, I was already here. And when they said that, I was like, all the way down. I was like, I did that with a bot. I was hysterical. It was funny when I look back. Long story short, I was like, no, I got to figure this out. So I read the entire YouTube partner programs ad thing, like I read the whole thing from top to bottom, and we all know how little those words can be. It took a long time. And I found that there was nowhere at all. They could have changed it now, but at the time, like a month or so ago, yeah, it was about a month ago. I can't believe it's been only a month. Anything, I figured it out. And Harlot, wait for this one, wait for it. A human being wrote me an email, and I think I forgot to tell Truth and Sarah. So Truth and Sarah, if you're watching right now, here's one middle finger for you. And no, I'm just joking. I love you too. But I did cry my eyes out. It was really bad if you ask them. Yeah, right, the bot. But wait, Truth, they wrote me back. And they made it seem like, so this is the thing, I found not a loophole, but I found that there was zero. So the reason I got demonetized is because 2 different times I was on Drunk Turkey Show, and I don't know if you guys remember, I don't know if you watch both of us, but for a few times, when we would go on, we would go to stream and my sound would go out. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm a brand new content creator. He is not. So I'm like, he's never going to ask me to come back on. Like, it was just bad. I was like, I really enjoy like coming here in his audience. I'm like, no. So for a few times I was joining from my cell phone so that I knew it would go through without any audio problems. And then like 2 of the times he sent me the video from StreamYard and I uploaded it. And because of that, YouTube copyright striked me, not Daniel, because Daniel was like, oh my God, I'm going to write them, da-da-da. Like, he's like, I didn't do, and I'm like, no, I know you didn't. It's YouTube that did it. So here in their policy, there's nowhere that says that if your streaming service goes off on you while you're live, that you can't later use the stream that the other person did and upload it. You had to see, I was trying to give them all kinds of out. I was like, when I was crying and like texting to the bots, I was like, you guys might have just made a mistake. I was like, sometimes I wear bangs, sometimes I don't have bangs. I like literally lost my mind, you guys. You have no idea. It was actually funny when I look back, but I wound up winning because I found that there was nothing there. So is there going to be something there going forward? I don't know, but I was able to fight it. The problem is they turned off all of my membership subscriptions. So I finally got to 50 members. That's like huge. I don't know. That's huge. Like, to me, that's huge. And I made sure, like, my goal was to make it $1.99 so that people could join. Like, I wanted everybody to be able to join. So I feel like I got up like this big group of people, and then YouTube for, I think it was 6 weeks. And I still don't know if it's back on. So if any of you, I almost said your name again, Truth. I didn't say it tonight, but I almost just said it out loud. But I think you just like redid yours, or someone did cuff you. Maybe it was you. Someone just like redid their membership. Let me know, did you have to go in and like physically redo it, or did they automatically do it like they usually do? Because what they did was they turned off the automatic renewal, and now I'm down to, wait, let's see how many I have now. You guys, it's bad. So it wasn't renewing anyone's. And the thing is, let's be honest, I subscribe, or I'm a member in other people's, and if I go on their like chat and I'm like, wait, why am I not green? I'll go and look and something will happen, whether YouTube just didn't charge me the next month, or whether my card had to be like the number, the date or whatever had to be up, whatever the case may be. But I get it. So I don't know. Yes, you had to cuff you. Thank you for doing that, cuff you. You have no idea. I really do appreciate your support. I do. You have no idea. So let's see. I have, and then we'll hang up because I do have work tomorrow, and I'm sure you all do too. I have, or some, I don't know, people could be retired. I have no idea, or be stay-at-home moms or dads or whatever you do. I don't know why I can't join to be a member. Cuff you. Stop. You're going to make me cry, and I'm tired, so I'm going to cry. So wait, you guys, yesterday I was down to 26, and now I'm at 36. So not yesterday, maybe it was a few days ago. Wait, that's weird. So a few people must have redid their memberships. Cuff You, and now Cuff You just added 5. You guys, if you could see my thing, it's like a huge dip down. It's like boom, 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 and then it's like, but Cuff You. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you to all of you. Thank you, Truth, for modding. Thank you, Sarah, for modding. I don't know where Mark's been. If anybody's heard from Mark, please, 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 like, let me know and let him know if anybody talks to him that I'm thinking of him. I guess I should text him. I should do that. And I think it's 3 hours difference, so it's only like 9:30. Maybe I'll text him when we get off. But I haven't seen Mark, and I'm getting worried. But thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you, Harlot, and for always coming back. Cuff You. I don't know what I would do without you two. Like, you guys are literally this entire channel, and without you, I'm nothing. So the fact that not only that you contribute to my channel, but that you continue to come back and contribute, just like warms my heart in a way that I can't even articulate. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that some of you that are in the chat right now got gifted that membership. And if you did, welcome to our family. We're the family, like a play on the mafia type thing. They're true crime. So, and I'm Italian, so forget about it. But welcome to the family. If you're now part of our family, thank you to Cuff You. I've been on for 3 hours, and I was already on for 2.5 hours today. I don't think I've ever been live this long. So I'm going to go because I have to be up in a few hours, and I have to work 14 hours. I'm done tomorrow at 8:30. So I don't know. Let's see how tired I am tomorrow because I work early Tuesday. Maybe Tuesday night I come back on. I'll figure it out. But look out for it and I promise I'm going to try to do a better job of giving you at least like an hour's notice. Like the second one today was a little bit off, but I tried to do at least an hour's notice for the first one. And I apologize that I only give that much time, but being a professor and teaching 10 classes, and then I'm also the adjunct coordinator at one of my universities, and I don't know, I have 55 jobs, you guys. So between all of that, yeah, I try. Anyway, this is my favorite part of the week. I swear to God, I'm not lying. I'm not lying at all. So I hope that, when they say all good things come to an end, I'm like, I hope this never comes to an end. Oh, wait, Mark has a YouTube channel and a Discord? Oh, okay. Cuff You, I will be back on Discord. I don't know if you just Cuff You, but I come on, I come off. I go on, I come off. I go on, and then as soon as I start like feeling like too much or whatever, like overstimulated with it, I'll delete the app. I don't delete it. Like you know what I mean? I offboard it. Rachel, I try to get that money. I could be making a lot more money. But I'm helping people. So when I substitute that in, I feel like I'm rich in that sense, that I get to help others. And that genuinely is what I want to do. So I'm happy with what I do. I could make more though. I definitely could. But it's okay. Again, if I could make more, but making more looks like leaving the college it's the community college that I've been at for 21 years. And the students there in New Jersey, it's one of the top 100, it's in the top 100 community colleges in the United States. I couldn't get that out for a second. So Camden County College, it's an amazing college. I know I just shared it online, but I thought about it. And when I was showing you my files, you saw another college I was at anyway. So like, whatever. And I don't know. Anyway. So my students there are largely underprivileged, and a lot of teachers start there. And then when they get hired at other universities, because you could work at more than one. I work at 2 universities and 2 colleges and a high school. I worked at 2 high schools a semester, but I gave one up because I was like, there's no way I could do that and YouTube. I had to choose. So I chose YouTube. how I make you feel better about your bipolar disorder. Oh, wait, do you want us to keep doing it or would you rather not? It's all for you. Let us know. You the boss lady. Cuff you. You do so much for me. Hold on. Let me see what I can cuff you. I don't know if you're interested, but you just tell me if you're not. Hold on. I think I have to do it while we're live because I don't know how else to do it. So let me see. Wait, can I do it right here? No, put user in timeout. That is not what I'm trying to do. It said put user in timeout. That was not the button I was going for. Wait, how did I do this earlier? Hold on, I got it. I have to find my live. So I just have to go to my channel, duh. Well, you could tell I'm getting tired. All right, hold on 1 second and then we'll hang up. I have to go over here and then come down here. So Cuff You has, I didn't know that Mark had his own channel. And he started our Discord and he was supposed to like keep it or whatever, but then he gave it over to Cuff You. So Cuff You has been doing it just out of the kindness of her heart. Oh, that was nice of you, Cuff You. Cuff You, are you good with this? Are you good with your new role here? I feel like I should have done this months ago. I swear to God, until tonight, you could ask Sarah. Sarah got locked out of her. Are you good with that, Cuff You, or no? Tell me now, because I could take it off if you don't want it. Sometimes I realize that not everybody wants that. Are you good with being blue? Harlot, I'm coming for you next, and it would look a squirrel. All right, cool. All right, so this is the thing. So Cuff You's been running the Discord, and for that itself, I appreciate you. Cuff You, at any point, if it gets overwhelming for you, just tell me because I am good with shutting it down if it gets overwhelming. I don't know what it is about Discord, but I feel like it could get the best of people, or maybe it's just me, right? So you let me know if for any reason you ever feel like like it's too much. We'll figure out another way for us all to hang out, like the few that we all gather together. Oh, awesome. So welcome. Harlot and yes, Harlot and Lucas Girl. You guys have been there for me so much. But I'm waiting just a little bit until I get a little, I guess like Mark is moving on now, which I'm fine with. God bless him. I support him 100%. I wish I knew he had a channel because I would have been telling people to go. I need to go look it up. I just didn't know. I don't even know what I was going to say, you guys. I'm so tired. Anyway. Wait, Rachel, no, I can't. Well, what can't you, what, you can't see the link? Is that what it is? Let me know, Rachel, before we hang up so I can figure it out for you. And then over here, let me see if I could do this. Hold on. Hold on, let me see if I can send 5. All right, I just gifted 5 memberships. So who's our newest member? So there's 10 new members tonight, you guys. I'm so excited. So now it's Barbara Hall, Renee, Heidi, Monet, Sybil, and then who was Cuff You's? Let me see. Cuff You. Cuff You, you two bad actors received the gift. So excited. Justin, AZ, Barking with Butler Dog Training, and Addie. You guys, welcome. I'm so excited. So excited. Oh my God, this is like the best night ever. I'm so glad I came back on. So thank you, you guys. And thank you, Cuff You. And I'm so excited, you guys. We have 10 new members tonight. There you go. Oh, Mark the Shark. I cannot believe Mark the Shark didn't tell me that he had a YouTube. Oh, I'm so excited, you guys. Nice, congrats. And Cuff You, to Cuff You and the new members. Oh, you guys, thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Barbara. Welcome. I'm glad that I got you. Rachel, are you? Oh, wait, is Rachel not green? Oh, Rachel. Not you. I'm about to like Venmo you $2 to join. It's $1.99. Rachel, if you want and you can't do it because, again, I even work at a place, whatever, I don't know your situation. If for some reason you really wanted to be a member and you couldn't do it, I, for some reason, can't just go in. I wish I could and just be like, oh, Rachel Crossley is going to be our next member. When you do that, it's like random. So if for some reason you really, really wanted to do that and you didn't have the $1.99, let me know and I will figure out a way to like Venmo it to you so that you could also be a member. That's the only way I can like definitely get you in, or anybody else right here that's listening that stayed with me all night for the like we've been out for some 15 minutes. Yes, it randomly picks. Truth, at least you know that I want everybody to be included. I really do. You guys have been amazing. I am so excited. I was so upset at one point because I was up to 50 members and now I looked and I was down to 36, but now with me and Cuff You, I don't know if it registered Cuff Yous right away or if that means I should be expecting 10 more. Let me refresh the page and see. No, I don't think it does. Hold on, it's telling me right now. No, it doesn't. So I think I have 46, you guys, and 4 more. I'll be back up to where I was the top. So all I need is 4 more members and I'll be back to 50 where I was at the highest before YouTube took my memberships away. I'm so excited. Thank you to all of you who have made this possible for me. Shut up, Cuff You. Cuff You, what is wrong with you? Thank you. Let's see who got this one. Let's see. I'm so excited. I feel like it's like Christmas. Little Miss, wait, who got it? No, I don't want to report harlot. Little Miss, shut the F up, Cuff You. Cuff You, I'm back. Wait, you guys. This means that I'm at the highest that I ever was. Wow, this is such a reason to celebrate. Cuff You, I'll never forget that I did this. Thank you so much. I know we were all trying to get her. Rachel, if you like want to join, and same thing, it was someone else. There's like 1 or 2 people in here. No, it was just Rachel. Rachel, I tried too. Wait, let me see if I could try one more. Hold on. Well, let me do it. No. Lucky recipients, select YouTube, get 1 month access. No, I think I have to wait till my next live. But we're going to get you in there. Cuff You, I can't even take it right now. I'm at a loss for words. Thank you. And thank you for being my new moderator. Dang, I didn't win a free membership lottery. I know. So Wicked, the same thing for you. So I feel like Wicked and I knew there was 2 people. It was Wicked and Rachel are the only 2 I feel like that are still here with me right now that didn't get a membership from us. So just like with Rachel, if you want, oh wait, let me see. Oh no, I can't. I thought it was just going to let me gift 5 more and it didn't. So Rachel, if you or who was the other person, that's how tired I am that I just only 2 minutes ago, Wicked. If either one of you want to join, and again, I don't know your situation. I'm not calling you poor, obviously. I hope you see this as inclusion. If for some reason you really wanted to join, it's $1.99, and I'd be happy to send you both the $1.99 to join because I really wish that I could, Cuff You and I could have handpicked you guys. So it says, well, wait, it has to be on. I got a membership the other day. Oh, do you have your gifts on? That's another thing. I forgot about that. Wicket, make sure you turn your gifts on. So there's a way for you to turn on if you could receive this. Rachel, is yours on? I'm about to just buy 2, but then I'm afraid. What if I buy 2 and it goes to 2 people that aren't even here? Which would be fine, but well, wait, it has to be on. I got a membership the other day. Oh, you mean a membership for here? Oh, Rachel, I wonder why you're not coming up green. Okay. Thank you, Rachel. So then the only one that I didn't get it would be Wicket. How do I turn on GIFs? So I don't know if you have an iPhone or not, but I can't do it from my iPhone. I don't know. I feel like they said that they were updating that, but I don't know if they did. But for me, I have to do it on my computer, like my laptop. But you'll go next to in YouTube where you're doing the comments, right next to it on the right hand side, there's like a little, it looks like a dollar sign. You click on that and there's a bunch of things that'll pop up and it'll say like enable GIFs. And you have to make sure your enable GIFs is on, and that'll be good because then not even just my channel, but any channel you go on, when people gift, that's a one good thing about subscribing, right? Oh, and you have to be subscribed. So I don't know if you're subscribed or not to my channel, but to win a membership, you have to be subscribed, which is free. But you guys, I love you all. This has been an amazing night. Tonight is a pivotal moment in the channel. I literally at 12:40 a.m. on 9/15/2025, I have the best memory. You'll watch. I won a membership for another channel. It's got to be on. Rachel, if like I said, you contact me or whatever, or go on that discourse. Did you just hear what I said? That's how tired I am. Either one of you two, go on Discord or whatever, and then cuff you. I have to get you my information. And then we'll figure it out, okay? If you can't do it. And then if you're on Android, just hit the super chat button, choose membership, hit the 3 dots at the top right of the window that opens to gift settings, and flip the switch. Boom, Harlot. Thank you. That was detailed. And there goes the Discord link again, you guys. Thank you all for being here tonight. I will never forget tonight. Tonight is a pivotal night in my channel. We're a very new channel, so please share with your grandmom, your aunts, your whoever the hell will listen. Thor has his own Facebook. So sometimes, how funny is this? My dog, I'll post every now and then something on his, like I'll be like, my mom's like live or whatever. Yes, that's what I'll do, Cuff You. I have to read it and then I'll definitely DM you on Discord. All right, you guys, you have a fabulous night tonight and tomorrow or whatever day it is for you. And oh wait, for iPhone, I believe the instructions are the same. Oh, so they did update it for iPhone. Rachel just joined Discord. Yay. All right, same thing. So wait, Cuff You says. Wait, I feel like I'm reading the text messages. I'm like, wait, says Cuff You. It's not there at Harlot Oscara. That's so funny. So Cuff You, or did you tell me to wait? Let's see. And then, okay, she says bye. All right, we're good. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Please like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed this so that I can continue to bring you content. Thank you so much.